On this episode of the Movie Podcast, we're talking about our favorite films of 2022. And there's no better way to celebrate the movies than with Layered Butter.
Layered Butter publishes limited edition collectible books and merchandise inspired by the world of film. Each issue highlights different filmmakers like Tarantino, Nolan, and their latest, Studio Ghibli, with amazing artwork and unforgettable articles.
Head over to layeredbutter.com/store and use promo code TMP10 for your exclusive 10% discount. Hello and welcome to the Movie Podcast. My name is Daniel. I am one of your hosts today, and I am joined alongside some lovely, lovely gentlemen. Joining me for the first time in person in 2023 is the one, the only, Anthony. Hello, Anthony.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
When is the cutoff for you to say Happy New Year to people?
Well, I would say by the end of January, especially if you haven't seen them.
Whoa, that's end of January.
Well, like, yeah, if
why does it go to the end of the year at this point?
I haven't talked to the audience like this since 2022.
Oh.
And we're in 2023. So Happy New Year
you're in
to
2024,
all our
aren't you?
listeners and new listeners.
Aren't you in 2024 though?
Close to it, yeah.
Don't tell us what happens.
You're like in December.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
This is summertime for me.
Oh, good for you.
You're 6 months ahead, so you kind of slowed down for a bit.
Yeah, I'm hibernating.
Oh.
It's a hibernation.
And that other lovely voice you're hearing is the other one and only of this show.
Oh,
Shahbaz. Hi, Shahbaz. How are you?
I could be the one and only, but I have met a few Shahbazes in my life, and I will be honest, I've had to kill them. Yep,
Yeah,
I had to kill them. It wasn't pretty. It was a lot of family dinners that were awkward because they're usually family friends that I had to kill.
But I mean, what can you do? Wait, you have a lot of family friends named Shahbaz as well?
Okay, so truthfully, only once I was at a party, and I walked in, and this kid was there. I was probably 13. And I think he was also 13 because all Shahbazes were born the same day.
Yeah, I think so.
And I was like, "Hi, I'm Shahbaz." He's like, "Yeah, my name too." And I'm like, "You son of a bitch!"
Yeah,
you told this story before.
Yeah, and then
we weirdly didn't hear any more about this story.
And then I blacked out and I woke up and he was just pulp in front of me. Yes.
Oh my goodness.
No, I'm just kidding. He's alive. I think. I haven't checked.
We haven't checked.
I haven't checked.
It's a huge situation.
I know his first name. Forgot his last name.
If you're listening to the show and your name is Shahbaz, right into the show.
Yeah.
No, that's gonna put a mark. They're marked people now.
Oh,
no, I want to meet another Shahbaz.
And send your address too.
I want to meet another one.
You want to meet another Shahbaz?
Yeah.
You want to compare?
No, I don't want to compare. I want to. Well, maybe. I want to see which one's funnier.
Yeah, can we swap them out?
Yeah.
Do we have another one on the
Is it the same guy?
Right.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Now,
I'll be honest, I'm the best one.
Tough question. Have you ever met another Daniel or Anthony?
Yeah, many times.
I know it's a common name.
You guys' names it's everywhere.
So I've met other Shahbazes before, but I've always I've met other Shahbazes. I know, right? But they don't have your they don't have the
charm?
H. They don't have the H. This first H in your name. The second H.
Really?
Yeah. I've met Shabaz.
So typically I always see another Shahbaz either with a bunch of Z's at the end,
a bunch of Z's, because one's not enough.
Well, you look at Malcolm X. He had a bunch of Z's.
How many Z's did he have?
3, I think.
That's a lot of
2
Z's.
or 3 Z's. Yeah,
a lot of Z's.
Yeah. But that's it.
Yeah. But I've met
the second H is always supposed to be there. How dare they?
Well, it wasn't.
Yeah, that's a fake.
Silent?
That's a fake. That's how you know. Check the bottom of the boot.
Silent, right?
It's silent. Well, it's like Shah, which is like king, because that's what it means. Like Shah, and then Baz.
Baz, like Baz Luhrmann.
Baz Luhrmann.
Yeah, it's
like Baz.
King Baz Luhrmann.
I spell Baz B-A-Z.
Yeah, exactly.
That's
how I spell it.
That's how it's spelled in Shay's name too.
Oh, that's how you spell Shay's name.
But the Shahbazes you've met.
Yeah. Well, not all of them. I've met one person with.
Yeah, that's fake.
With
the
second
check the bottom of his boot.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's fake.
You painted over.
Yeah, it's fake. That's a fake Shahbaz. But you can't have without the second H.
Yeah.
That's like spelling Daniel without the N. Dale.
It's a little different.
Dale.
I'll be honest, because it still sounds the same without the second H.
No, because it's Shahbaz if without the other second H.
Yeah, that's very similar sounding.
Yeah. So it's Dale and Daniel. Like,
no, it's not though.
I'm sorry. Oh, you fucking David over here, eh?
No, not David.
Yeah, we were in a press conference, and then
this happens a lot though.
Yeah, they're like, all right, David and Shahbaz, and I'm like, whoa.
Who's this?
They fucked up your name, not mine.
Imagine if it was another person in another group,
and she was Daniel,
and there's a David and Shahbaz all like they're doing the interview as well too. Like,
is that your alternate name? You know, like how. Do you have an alternate name where people think, oh,
by mistake,
you look like this type of name?
No, I don't get it as I look like it. I think people see the D and the A,
right,
and they assume David.
They're like, oh, I've already read the first two letters.
Yeah, it has to be David. Yeah. because I've had it like in elementary school where like people were reading the list, or like just if they forget your name. Is it David? I remember where we used to work too. Like, was it David? I'm like, Daniel.
But you look like David. That's why.
I hope not.
This guy looks like a piece of shit, though.
Oh, you're right. My bad.
We're back together, guys. We are back together here.
What do you get, though?
I get Matthew a lot.
Matthew?
Oh, Matthew.
Dude,
I don't
that's
know
not
why.
even close to Anthony.
That's not even close.
Times in my life, I've been called Matthew by people who maybe...
Not even Matt. Like, just straight up Matthew.
Like, say, hi, my name is Anthony, and then it'll be... Something happens, and then they'll come back to me. It's like, Matthew. I'm like, no. It's
Brother Matthew.
I'm like,
oh, okay.
Yeah. Many times.
Interesting.
I don't know why.
It's biblical names like Daniel, David, Matthew, Anthony,
Shahbaz.
Shahbaz, you know.
Shahbaz is pure biblical.
Yeah, dude, mine's the last page of the Bible.
It's like in that language.
And then it'll be like Jesus will return. Shahbaz. I'm like, oh, first of all, is this a Marvel movie? Like, what's going on? Speaking of which, they are starting to shoot eventually. I think by summer.
Yeah.
Passion of the Christ Part 2.
Electric Boogaloo. Yes.
Yeah.
Is this the?
Jim Caviezel
is back?
But Jim Caviezel reprised his role as Jesus already.
He did, but I think it was not a good film. Like that was it wasn't in the Passion of the Christ universe.
Right.
It wasn't part of the PCU.
No.
But this is Mel Gibson?
This is Mel Gibson, yeah. Oh. That's as of right now, I think he hasn't signed on, but I believe it will be Mel Gibson. I want to know what happens. I've been wondering.
Can I give you a spoiler alert about what's going to happen?
Okay, I mean, sure, yeah.
Have you read the Bible?
I have, but like it's a little foggy.
There's no way that this movie is going to get made.
Are you sure?
I don't think this... Dude, it's been 20 years since Passion of the Christ.
Which made a lot of money.
Which made the highest grossing R-rated movie. I think it just only was passed by Deadpool.
Yeah.
But it's like, it was a very well-known and watched movie.
It was critically, though, it was a little dicey.
Was it critically?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I remember a lot of people to go watch it. And I don't see why you need a sequel to that.
Because it's the resurrection
there's
part.
There's still more to tell, right?
Yeah, but like
what happens after that?
You know, but
like the whole story is him getting to the cross.
Yeah.
And then the resurrection part is the part you like look over. You're like, okay, this is boring. Like,
you know, that's the end of the Bible.
Right.
You know what I mean? Now it's now we're in Game of Thrones territory where it's like, oh, we're writing stuff that we don't have adapted from the book.
Right.
So I don't know. Who knows? I don't think this movie's gonna happen though.
What if he didn't die?
What if they do a little spin on it?
I just feel like someone's like in a boardroom, something like, hold on a second.
What are they smoking?
And they're smoking that Jesus Christ ganja.
Oh shit! Yes. The JC.
What
Kush.
if Jesus didn't die?
Oh, but I thought he didn't. Isn't that the thing? Like he didn't die. He was kind of like
form died.
His human form died.
Okay.
You know, it's the Father, Son, Holy Spirit.
Yeah. FT.
I'm just curious, like, what do they want to call this? Passion of the Christ 2?
As of right now, it's called...
The Passion Returns?
No, as of right now, it's literally called The Passion of the Christ Resurrection.
2. Gladiator 2, same type of movie.
Yeah.
Same movie.
Gladiator 2 is coming out, and they've already casted...
The guy from After Sun.
Yeah, the guy from After Sun.
Yeah, but I guess the difference with that is that, like, the Gladiator is not based on the Bible, I guess.
But is he playing Maximus?
It actually is.
He's playing his son.
Oh.
Yeah.
Which son? The one that died?
I think it's another...
Because
kid? I don't know. Is he playing Maximus?
No, I don't think so.
No, he's playing someone else, right? I don't know, man.
Oh, is it just like some other... This is not connected to Maximus?
It might not be connected to Maximus. I mean, as I recall, yes, his family is slaughtered. I haven't seen the film in a couple of days.
Yeah, because he goes at the end. You see him kind of walking to heaven. Yeah. And the gates open. And
did you cry there? Did you cry at that moment? Like when
no,
like,
I didn't actually cry.
Go to them, and he's like, he's touching like the
grass,
the wheat.
Yeah,
and you see him in the distance. Did you cry?
No,
it was good. It was a good moment.
That's a good fucking movie.
It was a fantastic fucking movie. It was the movie that I'd always see people have on DVD. Like that was like one DVD started coming out. Like everyone had that movie on DVD.
It's one of the films. It's also one of those films that I think it's always the first one to jump to the next format. Right, and
it was like that era. Yes,
that era is like, okay, Gladiator's on VHS, or Gladiator's on DVD. It was on VHS.
It was on VHS too,
and then it's like it was one of the first Blu-rays.
Yeah,
like I think it was like a 2006.
It was always a reference copy kind of film, right? Like it was always use it like okay, like
it's on 4K now.
Yeah, you know? Exactly. Yeah.
Speaking of great movies, though, today on the Movie Podcast we will be discussing our top films of 2022.
It's true.
So stay tuned for that later in the show. You may have also heard a lovely ad at the top of this show. We are partnering with our good friends at Layered Butter to give you the chance to get 10% off purchase of one of their issues. So please check out our show notes below. We absolutely loved Laird Butter. We have such great friends over there, and we're so happy that this partnership is happening. So please, we all have different Laird Butter issues in our house. I'm literally looking at my Nolan issue right now, which is just gorgeous.
Didn't someone spoil that for you? Like, because I got that for you.
Yeah.
And didn't someone say like, "Hey, enjoy your Nolan copy"?
Yeah, and I was
you're
like,
"What, Doug? What are
you talking about? Do you want to give this to Shay?"
You know what I love about Layered Butter is it takes everything that you love about films, but then it combines it into like design work as well, because the book is so well designed, and it has like this Mondo bottleneck vibe to it as well. Right? So it combines all these really cool areas of movies into this one book, and it has like great stories that are told in it.
Great articles.
But like,
and artwork.
for me, it's just a lot of the design work that goes through it is very like up my alley. And I just enjoy all their stories.
And they have a very iconic look. Like if you look at the front page of every single issue, it's uniform and it works. Like it absolutely works for what they're trying to do. And it also kind of helps that the entire team is fantastic. Like they're the nicest people we've ever met.
They're pretty nice. Yeah,
they're such nice people.
We were like honored enough like to at TIFF of last year. Like they're like, we're having like our our end of TIFF like kind of get together with the team. Like, do you guys want to come? So like it was felt like so like, oh, thanks for including us here, guys.
Yeah,
so,
I remember like I think I'm the godfather of one of their kids. I think that's what I recall happening.
I mean, we're all
and actually you also I think were a godfather.
Yeah, and I think Anthony was just
was asked to leave. I think
I am the godfather. I was asked to leave. I would have been like, okay, I'll just leave.
You're like, Anthony, why'd you get something from the car?
I was already gone by the time they asked me to leave.
No. You're also godfather. It was a really weird situation. They were like, yeah, all three of you are gonna be godfather of my children.
I would love, and hopefully they do this.
Yeah,
like a gangster
issue?
layered, like specifically The Godfather and like Goodfellas, and I mean, you could put. I would rather focus on the Italian.
Yeah, the Italian mob,
like Italian American film type of thing.
You can be their consultant.
I would. I would love to.
We always have like that running joke with them. Anytime they like post anything, we're like, oh,
when's the next issue?
When, Spielberg issue when, or like Scorsese issue when.
I think a gangster issue would be like really up there.
Yeah, so we're just going to keep pitching them ideas, but in the meantime, like we said in the ad, head over to lairdbutter.com/store and use promo code TMP10 for your exclusive 10% discount.
That's TMP for the movie podcast.
Oh, that's what that stands for. I thought it was just tip.
Just in case someone's like TNP for the Nancy podcast. I don't know.
Who's Nancy?
You ever heard of Nancy?
No.
We should use like Nancy as like someone when we're how like on the Smartless podcast they use Debbie. I forgot her name.
For Sean Hayes' sister?
Sean Hayes' sister to say for the audience kind of thing.
For
Nancy's going to be our audience.
Yeah, but Nancy, like again, apologies to any Nancy out there.
I know Nancy.
Nancy is such like a name that I think historically in films and television has been like an insult name. Like, oh, look at that Nancy.
Yeah, it has.
Fancy Nancy.
Fancy Nancy. That's actually that sounds nice.
Fancy Nancy.
Yeah.
Well, I would say, look at this Fancy Nancy, and I'm pointing to shit.
If you ever called me a Fancy Nancy, I would probably look at you and be like, never talk to me again.
Oh, right? That's something a Fancy Nancy.
That's something we'll say. Yeah.
You're a Fancy Nancy.
I am.
You're Fancy Nancy.
Thanks,
you're
man.
Fancy Shazzy.
Okay,
doesn't rhyme as much.
I don't like that one. I'll be honest with you. That one just sounds racist. I don't know how. Not there.
But is there a second H in that one too?
Oh,
no. There's no second. There's no H's at all.
There's no H. There's like 7 Z's though for some reason, or Z. What do we say here again? I always forget.
Z.
We say Z, right? I say Z.
Yeah, they don't call him JZ.
But to our American listeners,
in the UK, I believe they do.
JZ. How are you both doing, Shay? I want to get you to start us off. Again, we've had shows already this year. We've had a lot of shows drop this year. Just really quickly before I actually care about what you're going to say.
Don't worry.
We've had some incredible special guests already to start this year. Mary McCartney. We had the cast and director and showrunner of Servants. M. Night Shyamalan, Rupert Grint, Nell Tiger Free, Toby Kebbell.
No, small names.
Small names. And it's wild to think that, oh my God, M. Night Shyamalan has another movie coming out in February with Rupert Grint, and we've already spoken to these people as well,
and
too.
Who knows, we may speak to them again. You never know.
You never know.
Depends on the cards fall.
Podcast. And then we also, of course, had our review of Megan drop. We had our review of The Last of Us HBO series, which is good. It's out now. The very first episode, you could watch it right now.
Let us know what you think.
We're going to be talking about it every single week. So,
friend of the show, Brad Shankar, was in the show with us too, talking about The Last of Us.
One of our best series reviews.
It was a great review. Like we all were on our A game, all of us.
And we kept it spoiler free. Obviously, we've seen the entire series. We kept it spoiler free for that review. But moving forward, every week we will have our spoiler filled discussion. On it was so intense on every episode, starting with episode 2. So look forward to that. Every Sunday night, 10 p.m. Eastern time, we'll be there for you.
Yeah.
Now, Shay, you could tell us how you are.
I'm doing great. For me, I stopped saying Happy New Year by like
January 1st.
The 10th is like maybe a little bit of a stretch too, but at that point,
today's the 15th. Sorry.
Yeah. So it's 5 days after.
Okay. But I'm saying it to the audience.
Yeah. The audience honestly has never cared less about you.
They don't care about the new year.
Yeah.
Or me just talking. They'd rather me just be
It's like a lot of things. Your mic's not even plugged in, dude. So they're just hearing your background voice. That's what they're hearing. No, I'm doing great, man. I'm excited. The sun has come out. And it's kind of started to give me some life, I think. It's
been 2 weeks of darkness here.
It's been 2 weeks of darkness. The sun is coming out, and I'm starting to feel a little alive. Like, it got me almost hopeful for the next day. So I'm...
Live another day.
Live another day. Not even too much further out, just another day. But I'm doing great, man. I'm really excited. I love recording in person. I absolutely enjoy the banter we have and the camaraderie that we bring to this table. So I'm really excited. I'm glad to be back.
Excellent. I love that. Anthony, how about yourself? How are you?
I'm doing well. I am doing as good as I can be. I always say that. Yeah. But
I'm alive.
A lot of self-reflection. And, I came into 2023. I'm like, you know what? This year for the movie podcast, it's going to be the year of the C word.
Whoa.
Controversy.
Oh,
that's what we're going to bring to the movie podcast.
That's worse than I thought.
I did a lot something else. It was controversial what you were saying already,
right?
So.
That's the whole thing.
Yeah,
that's me. That's my brain.
I'm like, is he gonna say currency? Maybe like we making money.
I want controversy. I want.
So you don't want to make money? Okay.
No, controversy equals money, man.
So what ads are we going to start doing that are going to be controversial?
All right wing.
You guys ever want a pill that makes you 7 feet taller?
We're going to start doing My Pillow ads. I believe.
UFOs.
Oh no.
UFOs.
Yeah, UFO sightings.
Viagra.
Yeah.
Whoa.
UFO Viagra.
UFO Viagra.
Oh shit! Outer space dick. Okay.
Outer space dick.
Yeah. Oh, is that the name of it? Don't steal that. Don't steal that.
It's copyright.
Copyright.
It's on here.
It's public domain.
But no, for real, it's just I'm excited to be here.
That's so stupid.
But yeah, I'm excited to be here. It's new year, new stuff. I'm curious to see what 2023 brings,
What's funny about like when you get to the start of the new year, it's just like, okay, now we're starting this all again from the top. Let's go from the top.
It's like winning the Stanley Cup, but you didn't win the Stanley Cup.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, I got to do this cup again. Like you're trying to get for that championship. Yeah. It's a championship year again.
And you know what's tough, I think, for me, whenever we start the new year, it's like, oh, okay, like things always start off a little bit slower, right? Like even for news today, like there's not a lot of news that we're gonna talk about. We really kind of want to get to our topic. We'll talk about some trailers, but just starting off the new year, and then you kind of see the year ahead and like, oh man, how are we going to make it through? And then we'll find a way. But
life finds a way.
But we've been really lucky already to start off with some, towards the end of last year, we had Mubi as our sponsors, and we're starting off with Layered Butter this year. And then who knows what's going to come in the new year? We do, but you'll see soon. But we have a lot of plans this year. We want to grow a lot this year. And if this is, the first episode of the movie podcast that you're listening to, we're so happy that you're here. Make sure if you are listening to us for the first time, follow us on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, and Letterboxd at The Movie Podcast. We have new episodes every single Monday. The schedule this month is going to be a little bit different because we have Sundance happening. We've been accredited for the Sundance Film Festival, so look forward to all of our reviews and coverage from that, as well as our Sunday Last of Us episode. So there is a lot going on in the movie podcast this month, but things will start to settle off soon, and we will be having our most anticipated movies of 2023 happening very, very soon. So look forward to all of that and more. Is there anything else that we should talk about right now, Shay?
There's just a lot of happiness and love in the world. I think we should acknowledge it.
Happiness and love in the world. I love that. Let's acknowledge that. Let's take a moment to acknowledge that.
We also have some episodes coming out soon that were recorded last year as well that, I just cannot wait to talk about.
I know there's a bunch in the bank that we're just like,
we've been sitting on them for so long, and we've had to keep our mouths shut. Because we have snipers following us.
We do. Yeah.
So we can't say it. We can't say. We can't say it.
I don't think we can, right?
I think we have to wait until like the week of.
But what the one that we just did though, like a couple days ago?
I think
can we see that one?
I think we're good to say that.
Okay, go ahead.
Well, I mean, there was 2 though. You want to say both?
Oh shit, there was 2.
Yeah, I think it'll be fine.
Yeah. Okay.
Wait. Is it today? Yeah, we're actually, because the embargo for the coverage for Shotgun Wedding is the 16th. So this is when we're start to look.
Thank God.
Yeah, so Shotgun Wedding, we did some interviews for that. We may be doing some more.
Yeah.
But we were really lucky that we got to talk to Cheech and Darcy from Shotgun Wedding. Cheech obviously being Cheech Marin, who was in such lovely films as Spy Kids and The Lion King and every single Cheech and Chong,
Wait, he was in the Cheech and Chong films?
That is the Cheech of the Cheech and Chong.
No way.
Yes.
That guy?
Yeah, and Darcy, who was in League of Their Own and Broad City, and
Darcy Carden. Yeah,
Darcy Carden. So we were just super lucky to talk to them.
And Good Place.
And Good Place. We'll be talking more about that film and like the coverage we have for that very soon. Also, we were really lucky to speak to a director and producer from the film Missing, which is coming out later this month. It's a Sony Pictures film, so thank you to our friends at Sony.
We'll talk about that movie.
Yeah, we'll talk about it very, very soon. But so look forward to a lot of that coverage and then some more interviews at the end of the month, because it's never ending here on the podcast.
What I want to start doing for this year, and we've technically kind of already started it in some way, is that we're going to start asking the people that we interview to do ridiculous things for us. Like we never used to go with requests. Let's just say that. Yeah. Like there is Cheech. We got to not to ask him something, but we got to tell him a story.
Yeah.
That we love, and he got a great kick out of it. And then one of the other interviews, we got to ask them to say something to us. And hopefully going forward, we're gonna keep that momentum alive.
We like to have fun. I mean, like we are like at the end of the day at the movie podcast, we like to have fun. We're not. I don't consider us like formally critics, and I don't consider us journalists either. We're somewhere in the middle.
We're just 3 dudes.
We're just three dudes.
We're just 3 amigos. Que pasa?
But yeah, let's have fun. Whenever we get to talk to these people, let's have fun with them, because we know how grueling these junkets could be for them. So let's just let's make it light for them.
Yeah.
When we were talking with Toby Kebbell, which you listen to now, and Mary McCartney, a good chunk of our interviews were just talking about food and them learning how to make food and stuff.
Delicious.
So it's nice.
Yeah.
Let's get into the news. And of course, later in this episode, like we said,
it was so immediate.
I know. It's strictly business now. We will be talking about our top films of 2022, so stay tuned for that. Yeah. Shay has an amazing video that he's been working on over the last month.
Thank you.
To hype us up. So stay tuned for that. Yeah,
hype it up.
Well, that's nice. I didn't know.
It up.
Yeah, I'll share with you.
This guy don't share anything with me.
No.
Dude.
Oh yeah, Anthony. We have special guests coming out at the end.
Being a part of the movie podcast as Anthony is like.
Well, I needed
breaks on the show for me.
I wasn't gonna share to anybody, but I needed a title card from Daniel.
Okay.
And so he's like, "Can you show me what it looks like so I can send you a title card?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure. Here you go." So he's only seen 4% of it.
I haven't seen the whole video. I've only just seen this is where the title card's going. Can you make a text for me there?
Audience, they're lying. They're lying. These guys are lying.
No, I literally showed you the video on my phone.
Liars.
Give me a Bible right now and a Quran.
Bible verse. Oh, Matthew 44.
Oh, 42 is Matthew. Yeah. Matthew. Which one's that?
I don't know.
44:16?
Ezekiel.
I just made that up.
Matthew 44:16?
Please look that up. It's like the devil.
There's someone on our podcast right now listening. Like, oh my God, that's my favorite verse. Or like they're yelling it out.
It's probably like I just made up those numbers.
44:16?
No, go to Ezekiel 25:17.
Like Jay-Z's.
That's
Jay-Z's
the
Path of the Righteous Man.
Isn't that Jay-Z's album? 44:16.
No, it's 444.
444.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Which I learned is like the devil's number in Asian cultures.
Oh
yeah,
didn't know that.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Well, so what was there Matthew 44:16?
There probably could be.
Oh, I thought you were
Matthew 44:16.
See, Daniel has the Bible on his phone. He's one of those.
I'm just opening up the Bible app. Yeah. Matthew.
That's the sound that it makes when you open it.
44:16.
What's in it? I wonder. You know,
like, it doesn't exist.
And you must not do adulterous things. Oh, okay, sounds good.
It feels like it should be a higher number.
No,
yeah,
no, not a verse.
Nothing here.
Where does Matthew end? Okay, someone driving their car right now is like, God, these idiots don't know Matthew ends at 23 verses.
Yeah, idiots. But yeah, surprise. There's not really a lot of news to talk about.
Not a lot of news.
But let's keep it free. Let's keep it a little freestyle jazz here with like Golden Globes happens last week. Apparently,
I didn't watch them.
I watched a bit of them.
I watched when Daniel messaged me at 8:30 that Angela
so they were
Bassett
well into
won.
it,
and
Ki Kwan won.
I only watched Key's speech. That's it. Sorry, yeah, that's all I watched.
So I was surprised that it was Tuesday.
Yeah, it was a Tuesday night, a random Tuesday night. The Golden Globes happened.
They had a 26% drop in ratings, which is not a surprise at all.
Because who wants to watch an award show on a Tuesday?
Yeah,
but
so
also
weird.
wasn't marketed.
No, it was not
shown. It wasn't really told.
Yeah, and also the Golden Globes the last year, people were just like, "Yeah, we're not supporting this," and then this year it's like kind of back to normal. So it's like, okay, well, what can you do?
Yeah. And
any surprises at the Golden Globes for you guys?
Yeah, Jared Carmichael hosting and not doing a great job.
That's up there. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I never expect anything. Like when it comes to award show hosts, I don't ever expect anything.
You know what I mean? No, but like I always should expect it to be good though. Like you look at Ricky Gervais and you know how controversial that was. Controversy, at least, like Anthony mentioned, like it works. You know, like he was controversial, but it was fun.
Right.
And Jared, I think he tried to go for some controversy from what I was reading, but it didn't land with anybody.
Yeah, and I just think it was like a weird night.
Yeah,
it was a weird night. But in terms of any surprises of winners, losers,
I don't know who did win.
I guess.
Brendan Fraser not winning is not surprising because it's the Golden Globes. They said they're not going to.
But a lot of people don't know the history with Brendan Fraser, so I guess it could be surprising because a lot of talk is Brendan Fraser winning a lot of the awards, and then in this case, Austin Butler winning. I would say that would be surprising.
Yeah,
because it's unexpected because he did a really good job. I just didn't think he would win.
Yeah, and now do you think going forward, the Golden Globes, I think, could be seen sometimes as like a precursor to what to expect for the Oscars? So we had Michelle Yeoh winning Best Actress. We had Ke Huy Quan winning Best Supporting Actor.
Yeah,
right.
In a drama, in a musical comedy, because they
separate them. But do you see this as like a precursor to what to expect for the Oscars? Do we think Michelle Yeoh is winning Best Actress?
I would like to see that.
I think so.
Yeah, we'll have our predictions.
I think she'll. I think Angela Bassett and her will be nominated together, but
I think that Bassett will be supporting actress.
Was she not supporting? She was Best Actress.
Michelle Yeoh's
musical comedy.
Yeah.
So it would be Cate Blanchett and her in the same category.
And then
I would say Cate Blanchett because that's all I hear. But now I've been hearing someone else who's.
So I watched Tar. It's fine. Like Tar's like it's like not a bad movie. It's good, but like there wasn't anything about Cate Blanchett's performance that was just like, wow, I've never seen her do this before.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's just such like a again for me, like sure, like it's such like a base hit for me where it's just like, yeah, this is it's a great performance from Cate Blanchett, but it's like to be expected where Everything Everywhere All at Once when you see Michelle Yeoh, it's just like this is like her performance in that is such a huge range of a performance. But I'm curious though with Brendan and Colin, who's going to go between.
But before we go to actors, there was an actress that I messaged the chat today. Her name is Andrea Riseborough.
Yeah,
she did a movie called To Leslie, and it's didn't get a lot of marketing, but like Kate Winslet says like the best female performance she's ever seen.
Oh yes,
and so I kind of like. Kate Winslet's up there, like she's there.
Yeah.
So when you hear someone say like it's the best female performance she's ever seen, like you kind of like gravitate to it.
Yeah.
So I was reading the article and it's like a lot of like it's like really grassroots movement to get her into nominations for the Oscars.
It's possible.
So
anything's possible, right?
Yeah. So what the Golden Globes has usually is a precursor to what the Oscars is, but I think like for the past couple of years, it's just been a lot of misses on their part, and it's completely different. There's so many films that are going to be nominated, and they're combined too. So there's no music, comedy, drama. Right. It's just one. So a lot of those numbers start to dwindle, and there's also a lot of international people that we don't know about that will probably be nominated.
And that's the thing with the Golden Globes too. You see movies like in the category of comedy or musical, and you're like, why are you? You're not like that's not. Why are you in this category?
Yeah,
it's so strange. Like The Martian being. Remember The Martian being in. Like The Martian was funny, but it's not like a comedy or a musical. You know what I mean?
I never think like only put on a comedy film. The Martian is one.
But maybe it's based on like
a funny guy.
There's too many dramas.
But and all what did they submit to, right?
So let's put it as musical comedy because they need a musical comedy in this in this category. Yeah. So let's skew the numbers.
We'll see. But again, Best Actor. Is Austin Butler going for Best Actor or is he going as supporting? Because remember when that was coming out, I think Austin Butler was under supporting actor. But is that we don't know.
That was initially what we read, right? Yeah.
That's what they were campaigning. That's what Warner Brothers submitted him as a supporting. So I'm curious, is that going to be?
Are you going to change that up now?
Yeah. Is that going to be supporting actor?
I looked at Austin Butler in that film as the main actor. It's called Elvis. I know it's Tom Hanks' story of Elvis, but it's focusing on Elvis, not Mr. Snowman.
And he's also on the poster. Like he's the only one. He's right there front and center.
Yeah.
He is that movie. So I would say best actor.
I would say best actor too.
So now who do you think is going to win best actor? Do you think it's going to be Austin Butler? Do we think it's going to be Colin Farrell? Or do we think it's going to be Brendan Fraser?
It's Brendan Fraser.
I could see going either way now.
Either way to Austin Butler?
Either to Austin Butler, to Colin Farrell, or to Brandon, because Brandon didn't win the Golden Globe. Obviously, we know why.
Right.
But we've also seen Colin Farrell win a lot of awards. We've seen Austin Butler win a lot of awards. So I'm curious to see which way it's going to go.
I would be surprised if Brendan Fraser doesn't win. Just because his performance is really, really good.
Yeah.
The amount of work that went into the prosthetics and to become like an obese
and the Academy loves physical changes.
Yeah, it's a huge role. And I know it takes place in like this one room and it's a basic story.
And all the more so that his performance is what shines in that,
It shines. And it's a lot of like self-reflection on his part too inside this character. Now, I can't say, I watched Banshees. I think I watched it twice.
I just watched it again this weekend.
Great movie. I don't think Colin Farrell's, I think he's better as the Penguin than he is in that film.
Mm-hmm.
It's just little thing. I don't see anything in that role, and I'm not downplaying his role in that movie, but his performance it's good, but it's not like we're gonna give you this award,
right?
And I hate. See, this is the fucking role that I hate.
This is the thing with awards, right?
I don't like awards. I hate them. Like, you don't give awards to people who act. They just do their job,
right?
And then Austin Butler. It was a good year for films, especially for performances, and I'm going to say Brendan Fraser.
Brendan Fraser? Do you think the same thing, Shay?
I would love for it to be Brendan Fraser. I just feel like there's a lot there that like can be hit or miss with that. I want it to be him, but I think it could go to Austin Butler.
I could see. I could also
based
see
on what we just saw. Who do I want though? You're absolutely right. It is Brendan Fraser, but I just feel like Austin is more of a crowd favorite for this.
Yeah. We'll see. We're going to have our official Oscar predictions. What I want us to do this year when we do our predictions, especially for these categories, we'll mark off like, this is who we think's going to win. Like, this is our actual prediction, but we'll have like who do we want to win?
We don't get points for that.
We don't get points for it, but we just want to acknowledge like this is who we wanted to win. You know? But yeah, Golden Globes, whatever, it happened this year. I'm
looking at the winners right now, and like just like I'm happy that Angela Bassett got her roses.
Yeah, 100%.
For Flowers.
Who won? What film won best drama, and what film won best comedy musical?
So the Fabelmans
won best drama.
And then comedy,
and Spielberg won best director.
And Spielberg won best director.
And then Banshees won best musical or comedy.
Interesting. So I'm curious now.
And Pinocchio won animated, and surprisingly, in non-English language, it was Argentina 1985.
Yeah, I think that's what's.
But it had
Decision to Leave was there too.
Decision to Leave was there. All Quiet on the Western Front and RRR, all three films that I've heard more about than Argentina. So I'm surprised.
Yeah, but here's the thing. Usually, the foreign film category is one that, like for the North American audience, is like always like it could be a toss up. But like all of these films, I've been hearing so much about, which is nice to see that immersion into the North American culture. We'll have our official predictions later on, but it's very interesting to see Fabelmans and Spielberg winning. So I'm really curious to see what's going to happen with the Oscar nominations.
I'm not surprised. He was there. He was there.
Yep.
He's Spielberg. And there's a good, and I don't know the politics behind the scenes, but I think there's a lot of politics between Steven Spielberg and critics and the Hollywood foreign press that are on good terms. So why not?
At the end of the day,
and I'm not saying anything about Fabelmans.
But the award shows are all like marketing and these friendships and some corruption too, right? So like it's not out of the realm to say that.
And it's so funny that this year, for an award ceremony that was really focused, that didn't show diversity at all, it now showed it, and there was a lot of like diverse winners, and we had a black host and all that. It just came off a little fake. I don't know why. Like, it's too soon for you to just flip the card and be, we're changing.
Oh, for the Golden Globes.
We're changing. We're yes, for the Golden Globes. We're changing. We're now this place. It's you can't do that. You can't flip the switch. You need to slowly get to that point.
Yeah. Or make it feel, I guess, is it more genuine? Is it because well, I mean, like, I don't think there was any other way out of it for the Golden Globes. It's like, this is how you are. This is what's going on. So, like, they had to come back and I think showcase that more.
Yeah, I just didn't buy into it.
I'll be honest, I haven't followed anything with the Golden Globes all year, so I have no idea what's been going on behind the scenes. No clue. So,
well, they're not even showcasing that either. So it's a lot of like behind the curtain.
Right.
So
I don't even think they care. They had an award show on a Tuesday. So what are you going to do? What else happened this year? That was about it, right?
In terms of, that was the biggest thing, I'd say.
Oh, best original song though.
Yeah, not to winning. And best score, Babylon
winning. Yeah, I feel like that's going to be a lot.
That's a shoe-in.
He's been Justin Hurwitz has been nominated 4 times and he's won 4 times. So I think that's a shoe-in for Oscars as well too. Real quick, let's check any updates with the box office.
Yes, there is. We're going there already.
Yeah, because I don't think there's anything else.
Might as well.
Sorry, let's do it properly. Let's get to the box office. Cha-ching! Anthony doesn't do it because he's not.
I don't want to do it.
Bitch.
Hey, I don't want to do it.
That's fine. I will only talk about Avatar right now because that's obviously the one like that people are really interested in at the moment. Avatar has crossed 1.3 billion overseas in the box offices. It's grossed 88.6 on its 5th weekend in over 52 markets. It's only a 33% drop. So it's internationally right now it's got 1.3, globally 1.89, so pretty much 1.9 by Monday. They're saying so that when you're listening to this, I was gonna say when you're reading this, but there's no transcript out. When you're listening to this, it'll be 1.9, and then by tomorrow it'll have beat No Way Home. They're saying that it might cap out at about 2.3 or 2.4 billion globally, and that would put it number 3 in the worldwide box office, knocking out his last major film, Titanic, not including the Avatar, obviously.
It's funny because somebody on the red carpet at the Globes congratulated him. He's like, "Yeah, James, congratulations on over $1 billion." He's like, "Actually, it's 1.73215 or whatever." Yeah. And he's like, "But who's counting?" Thanks, James. That's so good.
James can.
But yeah, it's great to see it. Again, it's one of those things that everyone, when Avatar was coming out, people are like, "Oh, it's not going to it's not going to hit $1 billion. It's going to be a huge waste." And then here's over $2 billion incoming. So wild. Let's get.
Truthfully, I've been focusing on the box office these past few weeks just because I was so curious. There's so much like news saying it's gonna flop, it's not gonna hit this. So I've been slowly watching this fucking movie rise and rise and rise.
Today's a month that it's been out, which is crazy.
And and here it is, still number 1, beat Megan. Yeah, quite a bit too. And it just says a lot about who James Cameron is 100%. And the movie he makes. And yeah, he knows his audience.
He does. He knows the worldwide audience.
Megan is doing well though.
Yeah, it is.
Megan is doing well. It's worldwide right now at 60. And domestically, it did about 43 so far.
That's amazing.
So, you can't blame it.
Bring us those sequels.
Yeah, bring us the sequels.
Let's get some trailers. So we did get a trailer for Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. That was during the football sports game last week.
Monday Night Football?
Monday Night Football.
Maybe.
We got a great look at Kang. I'm so excited for Jonathan Majors as Kang. This movie, this I think probably was my favorite trailer so far that we've seen from the marketing. Hopefully it's great. It's also a little hard, not that the CG is bad in the film, but like when you're coming off Avatar, which everything looks incredible, this looks a little bit more like soundstagey.
Yeah.
Right? But hopefully the story's good. I feel like they're going to kill Scott Lang. I feel like they're going to kill Ant-Man in this movie, and that's going to be like the rally cry. That's like the killing of Francis Ferdinand that started off the war, and that's when we're going to go into the Kang dynasty and everything.
You think Scott Lang.
Yeah.
Starts the war.
Yeah. Scott Lang dying starts
the smallest one.
Yeah.
Like starts the biggest war.
I wouldn't care. Like I'm part of the Avengers.
Save the world though.
You're part of Kang, bro. You're part of Kang.
Scott died.
Yeah.
Okay. Well.
But Scott's the one who initiated the time heist to save the world.
That's
right?
Cool, man. But I don't care. If Captain America died, that's a different story.
Right.
He's dead though for sure. Captain America's dead, bro.
He's on the moon.
He's not the president of the States?
Oh shit. Joe Biden.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, he's coming back as Captain America.
I think he's on the moon.
He's on the moon. He'll be like old Captain America. He'll come back. He'll be like that Tony Stark. He'll kind of be the mentor, and then he's gonna get his super soldier serum back, and then he's just gonna be this new Captain America.
Well, I mean, they also in universe have already shown that you can de-age somebody, right? We saw that in Endgame. That remember when they were doing the testing for the time travel. Like, oh, you were putting the time. He was putting him through time instead of putting whatever through time. Yeah. So they could de-age him if they want to, but we'll see. We'll see what happens to that film. We don't have too long to wait. It's about a month away now.
Yeah.
Gran Turismo. We got a little look at that. This is the Neil Blomkamp directed film that's going to be coming out later this year. It looks
cool.
Looks like Gran Turismo.
Yeah,
looks like a racing epic, and we love sports movies on here, and it just looks epic.
100%.
I'm curious to see what he can bring. Like, it's just because his movies are so unique and sci-fi, and
yeah, he's got a very unique.
This is a different realm.
This is very much a different realm for him, right? Evil Dead Rise.
Very cool trailer. Scary.
Very scary.
I love
too scary.
I love Evil Dead. I love the remake that they did because it was really like gory and it was just awful to watch in the sense that
it's so fun.
There's a lot of controversial things that happen in that film. But yeah, I'm looking forward to this story. It's rated R, which is great. It's not PG-13, it's not 14, whatever it is. It's rated R, which
or in the States will be 14A here probably, right?
It might be 18A here.
Oh, maybe, yeah.
Based on that trailer.
I don't know.
There's a high chance of that, yeah.
But I love it.
Shay, what do you think of Evil Dead Rise?
It was scary. I felt very scared. Like,
I think that's what
gory
you need.
As hell. Yeah, like it was just so gory. Like when the glass is going down their throat, it's scary.
And they don't because Evil Dead 2 and 3 become more campy comedic type of horror. They're really sticking to that scary horror element of the Evil Dead, which I love.
And somebody I used to know, this is the Dave Franco directed film. This looks like it's going to be a fun movie.
It's cute. Yeah, Dave Franco, Alison Brie.
Yeah, but it's going to be on
Prime Video?
Prime Video. Yeah, so hopefully we'll...
He directed another film, which was like a cabin film where it was almost like a horror.
Dave Franco?
Dave Franco. It came out during, I want to say COVID, but it did really well too. I think it was streaming.
The Rental?
The Rental, yes.
Oh yeah, The Rental.
Yes. So this is like he directed this one too.
Yeah.
So
yeah, this is I think from what he said that Alison Brie and him wrote it, so they're not basing I guess completely, but like they're using a lot of because they're married. They're using a lot of their relationship,
their inspiration from their relationship. Yeah.
To move the movie forward. Yeah, I love Dave Franco. He's a great guy.
Love that.
Not his brother.
We don't talk about him.
No, we don't talk.
He's playing Fidel.
We don't talk about him.
Is that movie still happening?
Didn't it already happen?
Did it happen already?
No, they were making it. Remember, there was a whole controversy.
Oh yeah.
It's like he was playing Fidel Castro, but he's a white guy playing.
Yeah. Who was mad about it? I think it was John Leguizamo, right? He was upset.
But he's always mad.
He's always mad.
Yeah.
He's never mad about playing fucking Luigi though, but he's mad about that.
Well, he's mad that Charlie Day is playing Luigi.
Yeah, but not mad that he played him.
He wanted diversity in Luigi. I'm like, the guy is Italian. Like, what else do you want? Like,
Charlie Day's Italian?
No.
Yeah.
But like
Luigi's
Italian.
Charlie Day could be Italian. You never know.
Charlie Day.
Charlie D.
The Dia. But like, don't be mad at that stupid shit like that.
Yeah, it's a Japanese first and foremost, really.
Yeah, at the end of these Japanese.
Technically, yeah.
Let's get to what we're watching. We're going to get through this and then we're going to head over to our topic of the show. Anthony, I'm going to get you to start us off. What do you want to talk about we've been watching?
So what I've been watching, I watched RRR.
Yes,
Rise, Revolt, and
Revolution.
Did I say it in the right order?
Maybe.
Crazy film. First Bollywood film that I really watched. And this was a long film. Like, if I were to watch this in the theater, it would have been like this, Avatar, like a lot of movies that came out during this time was
Babylon.
3 hours.
Yeah.
We had a lot of 3-hour movies this year.
Bollywood films are all 3-hour films.
Yes. And we would have had an intermission as well too.
What a crazy movie.
Yeah.
Enjoyed it. Really liked it. It's an interesting story. I would say it's a little racist to white people. As a white man watching this, they just portray white people as like,
it's about time.
Is this a true representation of
you have no idea how long I have waited
in India?
You guys are always the fucking saviors.
Dude, they beat that guy for no reason.
Which guy? Wait. For no reason? I just want to confirm.
Which guy though? Which guy?
You remember the mechanic? Like he goes the security guard, no, one of the Imperial soldiers. He has a bike and he goes.
He's like beating up the guy.
It's the guy for no reason.
Yeah. So wait, that's the white guy that beat up the brown guy, right?
Yeah. I don't think that happened.
Oh my god, dude, you have no idea.
I don't think that. Happened.
Yes, of course it did.
I think
it was worse. That's for a movie that was tame. Like they would literally they would fuck people up. Like when I hear like stories from my grandparents and stuff, like that shit was like not even close. Like what you saw in this movie was not even close to how bad it was.
And like they're like taking kids in this movie and stuff too. Like I think, but here's the thing though. Is the way they show white people in this movie, it's supposed to be, I think,
yes.
Everything in this film feels more heightened, but they're also showing them as the clear bad guys in this movie because 100%, they are, right? Yes.
And that's the whole thing about this this movie. It's like they are the bad people.
Yeah, not all of the white people are the bad people.
No, not all.
But like
the women aren't.
Right.
No, some women were definitely.
I couldn't beat the women.
Yeah, and it's funny because like the wife in the movie was the girl who played the Nazi in Last Crusade. I was just like, she's just always playing evil people.
And Ray Stevenson.
Yeah. No, but I enjoyed it. I enjoyed everything about it. It was like a wild adventure. It just the friggin' animals, like the action sequences and the over the top. Some of these over the top action sequences, which I feel like they need to North American directors need to like watch and take notice because they're so well done. And then the dancing sequences, really, really well done.
I was telling Shay when we were watching, I'm like, man, like imagine like a Bollywood director doing like a Superman movie, like just how like unreal it would be.
So there have been a lot of Bollywood films that they've tried to emulate Superman, and this is like I'm talking about the early to mid 2000s. And they're wild films, because obviously Bollywood never really had their own superhero because they were never films based on existing IP. They'd have to create their own. Did they do it well? Not in my eyes, but again, for people living in India and Pakistan and anywhere across the world, honestly, anywhere I think outside of North America, Bollywood is massive. Even in North America, it's huge as well.
Yeah.
But people in Europe love Bollywood movies.
Yeah, of course.
People everywhere else in the world love Bollywood movies. You see that representation kind of happening there with superheroes now. And like we were just watching a trailer for that movie coming out, Pathaan, and that looks over the top crazy. We're probably going to do a review for that too. Like, yes, Bollywood movies, they embrace what they are, and I think that's the best thing to say about them.
Yeah, they know, and these movies know exactly what they are. It feels heightened. It feels like just so fun to watch. And yeah, you could have a sequence of a guy training in the jungle, fighting a tiger, and then go to a scene of two guys dancing, and it's like,
sure,
it fits and it makes and it works. I've watched it twice this week since in like a span of 24 hours. I'm like, damn, that was such a fun time. That was a great way to like that was what a movie. It's wild. Absolutely wild.
I watched I kind of caught up to season 4, and we will be doing a season 4 review because I know Shay's a big fan of you.
You fan number 1.
I'm called Joe Goldberg. That's what they call me.
Yeah, you look like a Joe Goldberg.
You look like
that's more you. Come on.
No.
Yeah, bro. You put a cap on. All I know is you're killing people in your bunker.
No. I'm a good guy.
When in this year maybe every other year in the show you've been a bad guy
and kill women. That's.
Are you saying that I do that though?
Yeah, you look like that. Oh, you look like that guy.
No, but I wouldn't do that. I'm too nice.
Okay. I'd go. I'll do that. I'll do it. I'll be the guy for the.
That was so quick. That was so quick. The turn was so quick.
I'll do it. I'll turn.
It almost required no effort on my end to have.
I'm doing it already.
Fine, I'll do it. Yeah, I'll commit.
I've also been.
Caught me.
Yeah, I've also been. I'm all caught up. I'm about to watch season 4, so we can do our review for February,
which will be coming out February 9th.
Yeah.
So look forward to that.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Other than that, I just really went down. I've been watching a lot of podcasts. Like I kind of got on this train of bad
not
friends.
Ours, though, eh?
Not the movie podcast.
No. Why would you do that?
Well, no.
Yeah.
I don't listen to you guys.
He wonders why he's not getting all the videos. What? No, keep going, Joe Goldberg.
I killed you. No, I've been watching a lot of Bad Friends. I don't know. I just wanted to laugh, and Bad Friends, which is a podcast.
Go ahead. Keep promoting other podcasts. Go ahead. Sorry.
Well, they didn't pay for the spot, by the way.
The numbers on their channel feed is like extraordinary. Like, and my view is not going to help.
Migrated all of our viewers and listeners over there. Like, oh, Bad Friends. That's a lot better than the movie podcast.
No, you have to watch us. The way it works is if you watch and listen to us first, it makes Bad Friends sound better.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because we're really bad friends.
Are we?
The three of us?
Yeah, like we're bad friends.
I think we're good friends, though.
No, but we want to be bad friends.
Oh, we want to be bad friends?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought we were good friends because, like, I love you guys.
Man, you guys are so happy. Be sad. Be angry.
But that was last year. This is the year of resurrection.
2023 is the year of resurrection. It's the year of smiles.
Yeah. Well, last year technically was the year of smile.
Okay, gotcha. You got me there. You got me there. Good one, Shahbaz.
What else have I watched?
2 H's.
The Menu. I rewatched The Menu, which was a great film. I watched The Banshees of Inisherin.
The Banshees of Inisherin.
Did you also not watch The Last of Us again?
I watched The Last of Us.
What a show, guys.
Yeah.
I watched The Last of Us. Go listen to it and watch our review.
Yeah.
What else? That's it. I'm pretty sure there's a couple of things that I'm missing.
Yeah.
But yeah. It's just I haven't really tracked them down.
Yeah. I mean, it's been like a weird month of like I've been watching anything and everything and all at once, you know.
Everything everywhere at once.
There you go, see?
Yep.
Yeah. So I'm the same as you. Like, I've been watching a bunch of random stuff. Yeah, we spoke about Tar. We spoke about Banshees.
Tar.
Yeah, I watched Tar. Yeah, Tar, you know, listen, the Cate Blanchett's performance, you know, it is great in the film. It's a very interesting film. I love movies about music and, you know, like the intensity that goes behind the art. So, you know, Lydia Tarr is like a composer who is, you know, making, you know, a lot of waves in her field. And then it's introduced that, you know, she has a darker past with like the, you know, grooming some of the people that are in her orchestra, and then things kind of start coming to light about her. Then it's kind of her downfall as well too. So great performance. It wasn't really a movie for me that I was thinking about much afterwards, but again, it's Cate Blanchett. She's great, but is it best actress great? I don't know. Is it any awards great? Is my question. I think it's gonna show up for some awards.
But do you think
it's gonna win it?
If like you had to watch this movie and there was no buzz about it, you just watched it, would you be like, oh yeah, this is gonna get nominated for?
Am I from the Midwest? Like, oh yeah, man.
Did I use the Midwest voice?
The way you said, like, oh yeah,
he was just using his.
I think I used my shave voice. Yeah,
the way you said, oh yeah,
I'm a Midwestern kind of guy.
Yeah, you're like, oh yeah, man.
Yeah, oh yeah. Don't try no.
I think Cate Blanchett would probably get nominated.
After you had watched it for the first time without any buzz, you'd have been like, oh yeah, this is a Cate Blanchett nominated performance kind of movie. Not that it is. It's just one of those movies I'm like, I could see her being nominated. See it. Yeah.
In the year that we've had. But yeah, and I think she will be nominated for it, but I don't think that she is like the front runner of awards.
I get you.
Yeah. But yeah, it's a fine movie. You can watch it if you want. Your Honor season 2, which is a Bryan Cranston led series. The first episode is out, so it's on Showtime or Crave here in Canada. So watch that.
It's not HBO?
No, it's on HBO. It's a Showtime show.
Damn, yeah. I thought it was an HBO show.
So yeah, it's very interesting, you know, picking up because the end of season 1 ended off in a very like, oh, this show's end. It's like it's done. Like I didn't think it was going to come back. I didn't think there was more story to tell, but it's doing a second and final season. So I'm like, okay, let's. Sure. Also, Hunters is another show that there's like, it's like,
it's back.
It's coming
Prime
Video show, and it's like Hunters, the second and final season. I'm like, it's so weird to see that for like.
It's weird to end it on a second season. Like I feel like at most do 3 seasons of a show and then end it.
I
totally forgot about Hunters.
Yeah, because it's been a couple years.
Now.
It's been a while.
And the first season wasn't.
It started off really good. And then
it became really boring.
And then I was like, oh, you kind of fell off this. But yeah, Last of Us premiered last night on HBO. What an incredible, like watching the first episode. It's such a great pilot episode, like pilot, quote unquote, because it's like, let's show you the before, let's show you what's going on, and then let's really tease the ending of the show, of this episode, to kick off why you need to tune in every week. And then spoilers for The Last of Us episode 1. Just full
You're doing
warning here.
Okay.
Where this episode ends is that they find out that Ellie is infected, but she's not turning.
Yeah.
So is she infected? Is she not? Do they trust her? And I think that's such a great springboard to where Joel and Tess are going now, because they're in a fight or flight scenario. They have this girl. They know this girl is the key for them to getting what they want. And, you know, I think that was just such a brilliant spot to end it. And like, and there's moments when you're watching it, as we spoke about in our review, that we knew exactly like, this is word for word for the game. This is shot for shot for the game. So I think we're seeing the praise that The Last of Us is getting, and it's no surprise, because it's been one of the best stories in video games over the last decade, and now we're finally getting that told in an accessible way. And I think accessibility is a big thing that we spoke about in our review, because now people who were never going to play the game have a way of experiencing that story, and it's done so well. Right? That was one of the biggest things with The Last of Us, is like, man, like, if you're going to do this, do it in a way that has justice for the game, and it does. And now that I've watched that first episode, I think this is the third time I've watched it.
Same.
Like you're starting to forget that nervousness that we had going into it, and we spoke about it a little bit when we watched it the second time, where it's like the first time we watched it, we're like, we know
I was very on guard, you know, the first time I watched it.
Like, we know where like the gameplay starts, and now you're just experiencing it for the story itself. So you're just kind of going on that ride, which is great.
I think like my first viewing of the show, and you know, we've seen the entirety of it, but the first viewing of that first episode for me was like, I could never feel relaxed, I think, because I was like, this is such a personal thing for me. Like, this is a game that has maybe shaped me, has been such an impact on me. I want this to be done right. So when I'm watching
we were excited.
and we were so excited, obviously, and I was like, okay, and I don't think I could ever really enjoy it. And then we took a couple of weeks off from it, and right before we did our review, I rewatched it, and I'm like, oh my God, this first episode was phenomenal. Like, I was blown away by it. Like, I just felt so much better about it.
Yeah.
And I loved it. And then I watched it again right after it. I'm like, this is so damn good. And I can't wait to show my family, because tonight, you know, also be available in 4K and all the goodness that kind of comes with it being publicly available. So I can't wait to watch it again like 4K? That.
Yeah, on it should be on Crave.
Should be on Crave. Yeah,
they
really?
They should be.
Yeah. So I'm excited to see it that way and show my family, because my mom has ever wanted to watch me play the game. So now to have her watch the show is going to be a lot of fun.
I think that's where the challenge is, especially if you're a game player, you played this game, you're going to have this weird feeling where you're watching it, but you know how it plays out, and you know how the game looks, and then you know now you're in this series and it's live action, and you don't know how to feel. You know, and I don't look at this series as someone who, you know, for people who play the game, the series is not for you. The series is made for everyone outside of that.
Yes, sorry.
You know, and I'm not saying it in a bad way. I'm just saying, like,
no, you're right. You're right. This is the most accessible way for all audiences to watch it, right?
And I think a lot of people will enjoy the story, right?
Yeah.
And your families, my families, people will enjoy it. Some people might not. Some people will just be like, I prefer the game. This is blah, 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 blah. But
sorry, do it again one more time. Yeah, that was right. That's spot on.
Yeah,
but it is what it is. It's a great story.
It is. It's a phenomenal story. And you're right. Like, people that, you know, and again, Last of Us is no stranger to controversy. But when you look at the game, the fans of that game are also, you know, sometimes even the hardest to please. I think gamers in general are the hardest to please crowd. Like, over film fans are the hardest to please.
And I don't get it. Like, there's something in their life that they can't let go, especially with gamers. And I'm sorry if I don't want to sound offensive.
We're including ourselves.
But like, there's those people, those gamers that just take it too seriously with their games.
Yeah.
They're just so immersed in that world. They live in this box. Like, they can't live outside of it. It's sad. It's actually really fucking sad. And so anything that touches it or anything that comes across it, it's like you're shitting on their world.
Right.
And it's like, you need to get out of that box. You need to and I'm not no therapist or anything, but
you're definitely not.
You gotta let go, because then they become so toxic, and they live in this social media world where
a lot of toxic and vitriol that we see all the time when it comes to this.
And they shit on actors and creators and all that. But like, you need to get out of that hole, man. You need to get it, because you're gonna die miserable. You're gonna die miserable.
Oh, okay.
I'm telling you, you will die miserable.
Oh,
if you live in that world.
Quite a turn.
Because there's 40-year-old, 50-year-olds who are so immersed in games right now. It's just like, you got to get out of that. You need to live your life and explore good things that are happening in the world.
And just to be clear, like, this is not Anthony or us, me or Shay saying don't play video games. No. He's talking about the obsessive being like toxic and being like an asshole.
I think in general online, about anything. Right?
You know,
in
like
general about anything.
Like, just relax a little bit. You know, at the end of the day, I'm gonna be, and I hate reducing it to this. Video games are toys. And this is a TV show based on a toy. You know what I mean? It's like relax.
I know what you mean.
But you know what I mean? Like, if I'm reducing it to its lowest form, it's like, yes, this is art and these are stories and these are beautiful characters. But this is a TV show based on a video game that's meant to entertain you. Like, it's like, not that serious.
Just everyone, like, it's not that pump serious. The brakes, you know? Pump the brakes on it. Like, for anything, like, you look at when a sequel comes out to a movie and people... like the whole DCU shit, which we haven't even gotten into, and we won't get into it until James Gunn announces.
And when James Gunn announces the next slate of DC films, I was like, because there was DC news, there was him debunking stuff.
But that's not enough.
Let's talk about it when there's news to talk about.
Because, man, when people go fucking crazy about that, like, it's too much.
Did you know that the Netflix is going to buy the
I heard about
Snyderverse?
That. Yeah, because it's not DC, it's the Snyderverse.
Yeah.
And again, you know what the worst part is, man? We all liked the Snyderverse. We liked the Snyder Cut. We liked all that.
I didn't like it.
Snyder Cut?
I didn't like it.
I thought you liked it.
No. I didn't like it. It's better than the Whedon Cut, but it's not by a long shot.
But that's what I mean. Like, compared,
but I still think it's a bad film.
Yeah.
And yeah, we're splitting hairs on it in the sense that it's like, it was still better,
right?
But it's still
not what we wanted.
But it's still that DC universe that we didn't want.
We didn't want this.
We didn't want to be.
What we got though, like, if you had to look at it, it's better. Like that. Sorry, that's what I meant.
Right.
And yet still, like, for some reason, it just, oh God, I'm not even going to go into it.
Yeah.
Anyways, what I've been watching, since everyone asked, RRR, Last of Us HBO, Shotgun Wedding.
We did watch Shotgun Wedding,
Can we talk about it?
Not to be safe, let's not.
Yeah, let's not talk about it. I watched Puss in Boots: The Last Wish. It's a cute movie. I enjoyed it.
I need to watch it still.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. We watched Missing.
We did, yeah.
And we can't talk about that.
We cannot, no.
Yeah, so that review is missing.
Actually, I think we could say, like, our social reactions, but we haven't tweeted any social reactions yet.
Is the embargo up for that?
Yeah.
Okay.
So we can say, like,
Missing was fun.
Yeah, it was good. It was fun.
I prefer Searching, but Missing was great.
Yeah. I think it's a crazier movie than Searching. Yeah. Like, where it goes and the plot, what it deals with.
Yeah.
But I'm all for more movies like this because I think they're a really interesting just way of telling stories.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I rewatched Everything Everywhere All at Once because, you know what, man, fucking great movie. Just love that movie so much. Very good. And I started to replay The Last of Us Part 2 because I love that game.
Just want to feel some pain, man.
There's one thing I forgot to mention that I watched, but I can't really talk about, but I will say that I watched it.
Okay.
It's an Apple TV Plus original series called Hello Tomorrow, starring Billy Crudup.
Billy Crudup? Yeah.
Crudup. I'll give you the synopsis. It's very similar to 50s 60s mod, where what the world thought the future would look like.
Oh, like the retro futurism,
like George Jetson.
Yeah, like
the Jetsons.
Retro, like Tomorrowland type stuff.
Yeah, very grounded. And the story is about like a salesman who sells property on the moon.
Oh, very
cool. That's where kind of I'll leave it.
Okay.
But yeah.
Nice. We'll talk more about it soon.
I'm pretty sure we'll do interviews for that. Hopefully.
Fingers crossed.
It's an Apple TV.
Do you know when it releases?
I'm gonna say February.
There's another show that on Apple TV
February
Plus 17th. Watching as well.
February 17th.
But we can't say it. We've been watching it.
We could maybe say we've watched it.
We can say we watched it. That's it. Shrinking.
Oh, Shrinking. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. That's all.
That's all we got for you.
That's the movie. That's the series with
Jason Segel,
and
Harrison Ford.
Yeah. And created by Bill Lawrence and Brett Goldstein.
Yeah. And it's about shrinks, right?
It's about therapists.
Therapists.
Yeah.
It's good. Was my therapist on there?
Yeah. Oddly enough.
Yeah. Damn.
She was. Mine was too.
Damn.
My therapist is a female too.
Is she?
Yeah.
We have the same therapist?
She always says that, oh, you're here today?
That's a you situation.
Let me tell you about Shay's
John
story.
Stamos?
Yeah. Oh, shit. Yeah.
John Stamos? Oh. He was so weird in that first season.
He's creepy, that's why.
Dude, like with the beard, John Stamos with a beard is so weird.
Yeah.
Why are you talking like that?
But it's just weird though.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is that all we have?
Yeah, that was it.
Okay.
Let's get to our topic of the show.
I forgot about that. I'm like, are we wrapping up the show now? What is this?
Today on the Movie Podcast, we are talking about the top movies of 2022. Of course, this is our personal opinion. This is not scripture. This is not the be-all, end-all. But this is our favorite films. Each of us will come with our top 10 favorite films of the year. I'll be honest. 1, 2, and 3 are in order for me, but everything else is like could go in any order.
Yeah, that's
so.
I would say the
1,
same.
2, and 3 are my top films of the year.
They're my gold, silver, and bronze.
Yes, exactly. Shay, I'm going to get you to start us off with number 10. You give me your number 10. Number 10.
That sound really good. For my number 10, I have Decision to Leave.
Oh, wonderful.
Yes, we watched this movie. Shout out to Movie for watching this movie. And it stayed with me for so long. Visually, I can't get over how stunning this movie was. Everything about this film. I mean, Park Chan-wook is no slouch in the filmmaking department, so gotta give it up to him. He's phenomenal. Killed it.
And we got to talk to Park Ail as well too.
We did get to speak to Park.
That was a really fun interview.
What a great interview. We didn't release that. We released that.
That's right. It's out.
Sorry.
Please go listen to it.
My mind is everywhere.
No, it's okay because we also released it like a couple days before Christmas, and then time stopped.
And that was the interview that we were trying to remember, because when we started our junket this year, I was like, I feel like we just did one recently because it was at the tail end of last year. That's why.
Yeah. And it was so late at night as well.
So
the
late
interview
at night.
started like at 10:30.
Yeah.
Number 10 for me is Chippendale Rescue Rangers.
This is my number 11.
I'll say number 11.
Yeah.
I had such a wonderful time with this movie. I think it was just so fun. I didn't expect anything going into it, but what we got for a movie that's direct streaming was just such a fun time. It was just so well made. There was so much love for those characters, and it updated them in a really fun and interesting way. So
how many times have you watched it?
About 3 or 4 times. I would say, yeah. Loved it.
Same here.
Really loved it.
I love that movie.
It's cute.
Anthony.
My number 10, in no particular order. I'll do what Daniel's doing. I'll keep my top three, and then the rest in no particular order.
I'm doing the same thing too. So I don't know why you have
I'm going to say The Menu, which is a fantastic film. Fantastic. Okay. It's one of those stories where you don't know what to expect, and you go into it thinking, okay, well, the menu is about food, and it just leads you down this really dark comedy dramedy type of story, and everyone's performance is spot on to who they're supposed to be. And it's one of those films that you will enjoy. You cannot enjoy it.
The Menu reminds me of that type of movie that someone could tell you in a couple years, like, oh yeah, The Menu is one of my favorite movies, and I'm like, I believe that. It's like that. It will have so like unique enough,
a culty feel to it.
Definitely,
a culty vibe that it comes from. Yeah,
culty vibe.
But The Menu is fantastic.
Yeah, I like that.
Shahbaz, number 9.
For number 9, I have Avatar: The Way of Water.
Ooh,
wow. Yeah, really, really enjoyed this movie. I think I wasn't expecting to love it as much as I did. And I had a great time with it. I prefer it over the original. I just think the story of family resonated a lot with me. Plus the water, just something about it made me
there's something in the way of the water.
Just something with the way of the water that really resonated with me. I really had a good time with it. Yeah, really liked it.
I adore it. Anthony.
Number 9 for me, I will say, I'll also do Avatar because it's in my list too. So, and it's not in my top 3. So Avatar: The Way to Water. It's what a beautiful film. It's breathtaking. Like, it's almost like going on vacation.
That's how I would describe it.
Like, I just wanted wind to be like blown into my face. And
we should watch it in 40X.
We should watch it in 40X.
But I heard like they shoot out the water a lot.
Dude, I heard people were drowning.
Yeah, you're drowning.
Yeah,
I don't swim, so I'll drown. I'll die.
Yeah,
I don't want to die. I don't want my last film to be.
You don't die yet. Sorry, that's what
I don't want to die yet.
Yeah.
Maybe after the 3rd Avatar.
Oh,
where it's like with the fire people.
Yeah, where's the one where he's like, it's all hell. Like,
I think it's.
Is that the 5th one?
I think he said the next one it's going to introduce like the ash people, or it's like fire and also introducing that one of the things. So I'll also say for my number 9 is Avatar: Way of Water. James Cameron was saying that for the next one we're going to see. We've always seen the Na'vi on the same side. So now in the third film we're going to start to see the Na'vi who are on the other side, as in terms of the antagonists to
not the humans.
Yeah. So we're going to see the Na'vi.
So a bunch of bootlickers, huh?
Yeah, we're going to see Na'vi against Na'vi in the next Avatar: Way of Water.
They're ash people.
The ash people, yeah.
So like
they're going to be, I think, red and
they're volcanic type of thing. Yeah. So they all represent, I'm guessing, Earth,
different
wind,
elements.
fire. They're like, is this the fifth element?
Damn. It's possible.
Damn.
But yeah, Avatar: Way of Water, my number 9. I adore this film. I think when we think about going to the movies and seeing just something that is like, this is a game changer. This is going to be a benchmark in effects moving forward, in performance capture moving forward. James Cameron, he doesn't miss.
And he's never missed.
He doesn't miss. And he came.
He will continue to not miss.
He just came and said, listen, I'm about to make one of the biggest movies of all time. People could say all they want. Oh, do people really care about this movie? Yeah, they do, because they're showing up for it. It's going to hit $2 billion by next week. So
it's going to be the third highest grossing film. So clearly, you know what? He's okay.
Let him have all the fun. Like, let him keep making Avatar movies. Like, I'm so excited to see what comes next. I cannot wait for this movie to come to Disney Plus probably in 5 years
next
from now.
Year, maybe.
I honestly wouldn't be surprised. Like, we were talking about, like, I wonder what's going to come. I was mentioning like Earth Day in April, but I could even see them going longer if they wanted to.
I mean, yeah, I think once they start to see like a 80% drop or like a 70% drop, maybe they'll be like, okay, yeah, I might as well now.
Yeah, but I don't see it happening until we get warmer weather.
Well, I mean, we've got Ant-Man coming out, so that's the only thing I can think recently that can dethrone it, right?
Right. I think Ant-Man will definitely dethrone it, like opening weekend wise, and then we have Creed, and then March is going to get pretty busy.
We have Scream.
And Scream, yeah. So
I think at that point it's just making the little numbers, but it'll all add up.
Yeah, it'll all add up. Exactly.
Let's get to number 9.
8. Yes.
We just did number 9.
Bad accounting, huh?
We're finished number 9.
Yeah.
We're going to go to number 8. And Shay will start us off.
If you had told me in 2021 that a movie like this would be in my top 10, I would have probably punched you in the face.
Okay.
Wow. With love, because I don't actually hurt people.
Yeah.
And number 8, Weird, the Al Yankovic story.
Oh, there it is.
We've watched this movie a couple times now, Daniel, you and I at least. And when we watched this movie at TIFF, I don't think we expected the reaction that we had while watching this movie, because what an absolute joy this movie was, how funny it was. It reminded me of all the old school comedies that I grew up loving.
Yeah.
Just done so right. You know, when people say like, oh, you can't make a movie like this anymore, Weird is proof that you can.
Yeah, definitely.
You just have to adapt it in a different way. You got to make some changes. You got to take out the homophobic jokes. You got to do all this shit that doesn't work anymore. And you can still make a banger film, and that's what Weird, the A. Yankovic story is. Casting Daniel Radcliffe, as bizarre of a choice that was, after having watched the film, it was the only choice.
Yeah. I'm right there. I'm right there with you. One of my top 10, I'm going to say it is my number 8. Weird, the Al Yankovic story. You look at a movie, you look at someone who has a career like Weird Al, who's never making fun of people. And I think that's the biggest distinction. The guy doesn't even swear.
No.
And the biggest distinction with him is that like we're going to parody these songs because we love these songs and we're going to have fun with it. And there was no better way to pay tribute to this man than make his biopic a parody of biopics.
And a phenomenal cast as well.
Phenomenal cast. It was so clever.
Evan Rachel Wood, Rainn Wilson.
You have like The Lonely Island in there. You have Jack Black showing up in there.
Conan O'Brien.
Like you have such an incredible cast of characters. Such a fun movie. And you could watch it on Roku. It's
so a movie fun that I really want to own. You know, I really want to buy that film. You know, no disrespect to, I have a Roku. But I want to own it. I can't carry my Roku with me everywhere. That's the problem.
Isn't that the point of Roku?
What?
To carry it with you?
It's a box, so it's something like an Apple TV.
Don't they have like a USB stick?
They do, but I don't want to buy a USB stick.
I wish Roku had like an app.
Yeah. Like for example, I have Prime Video everywhere, but I still want to own Palm Springs. You know? Yeah. Also a great film.
That was our number 8. Anthony, what's your number 8?
My number 8 is going to be, let's do X and Pearl. I'll combine it as one film.
I agree.
Because it was shot same time, same year came out. Around this year, X came out. Around this time,
February, March. Yeah, we saw it in February. Came out in March. Yeah.
Did we see it in February?
I think we saw either early March or late
end of February, I believe. Yeah.
Okay.
We saw it. We saw it in March. We saw it in March because it was after Batman.
No.
Yeah.
But we saw it the day after it premiered at Sundance. X.
Was it Sundance or South by Southwest?
X came out, I think, Sundance. No?
I'm gonna tell you right now. We saw X. March 14th.
Wow.
So it was South by Southwest. We saw it at.
Damn. Anyways,
they premiered out.
Great horror film. One of those movies where you leave. Our first reaction to it was we were okay with it, but then as we drove home, we kind of started to love it more and more, and we talked about it more and more. And then Pearl was an instant love because of our love for X and Mia Goth and Ty West and their chemistry as creators, because they really created the story, and Ty West doing a fantastic job at building this new horror icon, and Mia Goth playing her, who I just still can't believe she's not, nominated or given some sort of recognition for her performance.
One of the best performances last year,
especially in Pearl.
It's so memorable,
especially
so memorable.
Pearl. It just they don't. I think award shows don't like recognizing horror films. And
like the whole dialogue scene, like there are people who've been nominated for like 5 minutes of scenes in a film,
but because it's a drama, like they care more, but it's like no, like
you look at Toni Collette for Hereditary, for example, one of the greatest performances, but not a single notice. Or you look at James McAvoy for Split, nothing. But
we'll as good as he was in the 9 minutes that he was in Eastern Promises, William Hurt,
or even Alan Arkin, I think one time got a nomination for like a small role.
So it's like sure. But I think of the ending of Pearl and us being in the theater, Anthony, and us being like, oh my God,
so good.
She's still smiling. She's still looking at it.
She's still looking at it.
She's still looking at it.
It was so creepy.
Yeah.
But those two films together, to have come out in the same year and to tell this wild story and actually be good. It's hard to make a film nowadays that's horror, that is going to get the crowd going, and they did it.
Yeah, cannot wait for Maxine.
A24.
Can't wait. Maxine's going to be this year, March?
I think I don't know if it's March this year, but it's going to be, imagine a trilogy within a year. Can we take a look at that? Can we look that up? Do you mind looking that up, Shay?
I'll look it up.
But while we're talking about it, I may as well say it. Pearl and X are my number 7. When we think of horror films, and really, like, this is the year I think where horror films have been showing up on my list a lot more than I thought they were going to be, in terms of like we have X, Pearl, Barbarian, Scream, Bodies. Like there was a lot of horror that came out this year. That's great horror. That's really, really well made.
Nothing about it that I can see yet. No dates.
Date yet?
No dates.
So whenever Maxine does come out, but Pearl and X, like I'll never forget that day when we were driving home after X. And we're like, wait a second, did we love this movie? And then like it was that discovery that I love so much. And then when we recorded our review, and then when Pearl came out, it's like, let's tell this story. Let's see how she got to where she did. And it just makes me so excited to see what Mia Goth does next. We know she's going to be in an infinity pool. And there's a lot to look forward to.
Infinity Pool, man.
Infinity Pool.
That's a wild story.
Yeah, Brendan Cronenberg. So we'll see very, very soon. So 7 for me will be X and Pearl. Shahbaz.
7 for me is RRR. Big surprise, this movie, because I grew up watching Bollywood films. I did fall off of Bollywood films, but I think the joy this movie brought to me was unreal. I had a permanent smile while watching it, despite some of the content that was in this film. It was just still such a great ride. I felt that level of camaraderie and friendship that these characters were portraying, and it was infectious. And I think that's the kind of thing that I think about the most. The movie's also shot really well. There's some great cinematography, fantastic songs. Just overall, it really it made me happy. And I think, when you have a great year of films, the ones that'll always make you feel the happiest are the ones you always remember. And that's one of these movies.
I love that. Absolutely love that. Anthony, how about for you? What is we're going to number 7? 7 now. What was your number 7?
My number 7 is going to be Decision to Leave. Shay talked about it. It's a fantastic film. Mm-hmm. Like, it's an unorthodox look at a mystery, because it's so it's like a puzzle piece that just works, you know? It's such a smart and creative way of telling a murder mystery that's also a romance. So good. And you'll never get this film made here. No one is that smart. No one's that smart. No one's that clever to build a movie like that. And it's just culturally, it's just different.
It is. And what I love so much is I'll also add on to, this will be my number 6, Decision to Leave. When you look at like the formatting and you look at the cinematography and you look at just like the structure of these films, it's so different from what we experience here in North America. And I think Decision to Leave with Park Chan-wook directing is just such a well-made drama, and you're looking at everything in the scenes, and it's not just the performances, it's how they show technology. It's showing things on the screen that we'd never seen before, and reflections and like perspectives and like just the eyes. Like it's like there's so much focus on little things that tell stories, where I think in North American films we rely so much on either the plot or the action, where in this film, like, we're looking at everything else, and everything in that film is telling a story. And we think of that scene with him putting on like the chainmail glove,
which we got to ask him about, and it's just like, it's like little things like that. We're just like, oh, like let's like, there's a history to that, and you want to know more about that, and everything, it just seems so just extra thought going into everything, right? So I absolutely adore this film. It was one that just has lingered with me since watching, so it's a beautiful movie. Which number 7 though?
Number 7, I think it was X and Pearl. I said.
Was that your number 8?
No, number 8 was weird.
Oh, okay, my bad. Did we all do our number 7s then?
Yeah, so we all did number 7. So I did my number 6 technically.
Okay, cool.
So Shay,
so my number 6 is The Fabelmans. Just another fantastic film. It also gave me a lot of joy, but I think this is the kind of joy that I got because it resonated with me as someone who loves movies. Obviously, Daniel and I, you and I've made plethora of short films, and Anthony, you've helped us on them as well. So to see that kind of representation of what I've always wanted to do as a kid, and to see the love of filmmaking and the beautiful cinematography, and also get the element of family kind of thrown in there, dysfunctional, albeit family.
Yep.
It was just great, and it's a movie that I've thought about a lot and I've watched a lot.
I love that. Anthony, number 6.
Number 6 for me. Let's do Black Panther: Wakanda Forever. Best Marvel film of the year. There was a lot of emotional impact that the story has, and it's so well written and well directed, and everyone gives it their all because of what this movie really represents, which was the love for Chadwick. And I think that's where you take this film, and also giving us a fantastic story about new characters like Namor, and having a new Black Panther at the same time, as well as playing honor to the past. So it's all in all such a hard movie to make, especially so quickly. I know it's been what, three years?
2018.
2018.
The last movie?
No, Chadwick
died in August 2020.
Yeah. So it's surprising that they were able to orchestrate and create something this impactful to a character that means so much to so many people, and critics loved it. Fantastic film. That's all I can say about it. It's just beautiful.
Yeah.
Black Panther: Wakanda Forever for me is my number 5. Is one of those movies that I remember us going into with so much fear of like, okay, like what next? Where can we take this story? And you see what Ryan Coogler has done time and time again is be able to tell these stories that feel so personal, but also so grand, right? We have this movie immediately starts out with the passing of T'Challa, right? And we're thrusted into this right away. And that's probably one of the quietest moments I've ever been in the theater. We're watching that movie and everyone is just silent, watching what's happening, right? And it's kind of, and it kind of gave me a little bit of PTSD watching it, remembering the death of Chadwick and how much that scared us and shocked us and saddened us. But it's handled so beautifully in the film. And then from there, it's just about moving forward? How do you move forward with your life? And, you know, as someone who was like the face of a franchise, the face of the MCU, I think they did a wonderful job of building up the characters of Wakanda. And again, this is all because the testament to Ryan Coogler and the team who, from the get-go, made Wakanda and their characters the forefront, right? Remember the reaction in Infinity War when Cap's like, we're going to Wakanda, right? Where he doesn't say, we're going to Wakanda. He's like, where are we going to go, like, to protect Vision? And then you just hear the and then the crowd pops off. And even Marvel was, and Kevin Feige was saying, like, we didn't expect, you know, crowds to react that way, but that's how much it was beloved as a film and how much of a cultural movement Black Panther was in 2018. And then you're continuing that path forward. You're putting Letitia Wright, who goes through so much in this film, and her performance is so beautiful. You have Denai Guerrera, who's amazing in this film. We have Lupita, who's amazing. We have Angela Bassett, who's amazing. And of course, we have Tenoch Huerta, who is just fantastic in this film as Namor. And I want to see more of him moving forward.
You want to see more and more, eh?
More and more. So we just have an incredible cast top to bottom with an amazing story. And I'm like, man, I cannot wait for this to hit Disney Plus February 1st, because I just want to watch it over and over again.
We're so close.
We are so close. So yeah, that's my number 5. A beautiful film. And then on a personal, professional level for us, it was the first time that the three of us have all had our poll quotes used for one movie
in a row.
Like that was wild to see. It's like, it started off with Anthony, and then it was Shay's, and then it was mine. And I was like, this is wild to see that. Yeah. That's wild. We've never had anything like that happen before.
Yeah.
So it was very, very cool to see that.
Very, very crazy. Yeah.
Shay, number 5.
For number 5 for me is gonna be Barbarian. I
Did you ever anticipate it making your top 10?
Definitely not. No. And you know what's funny, because you look at this list, and in my honorable mentions, I have movies in there that I've given real gems to. And I think that for me, my top 10 is typically movies that I just they left an even bigger impact on me. Not to say that they had to be real gems, but they were just movies that I could rewatch, or I just had so much fun with. Or at the end of the day, it doesn't really fucking matter. Yeah. Because at the end of the day, it's just, this was also a fantastic year.
Yes.
And it was just, they're great movies. There's so many great movies.
Listen, we're calling this episode the best movies of 2022. Yes, it helps with SEO.
Yeah.
But like also, this is just our favorites. Like there are movies that are number 15, 16, 20 on my list.
Yeah. I haven't even watched yet.
Right?
Triangle of Sadness.
Exactly.
Yeah. Like I'm pretty sure I'm going to love that film.
Right?
But I haven't watched it.
Yeah.
Or Broker or After Sun. There's so many. I just haven't had a chance to watch it.
But even with our list, like I have movies that are in the 11 and 12 and 13 spot that are real gems, that we've given real gems.
Exactly.
But I'm looking at the top 10 of movies that either left a lasting impression with me this year that I'm like, I want to go back and watch these.
Yeah.
So that's why, like, I started with Chip and Dale. I'm like, that movie really had so much fun with me this year. So,
but even like you said, like even like the 16th film on our list is still a movie that like I absolutely loved and adored, and like I love it almost as much as I love my number 5 film. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
Like it's just it's all interchangeable, but the top 3 are like no. Those don't move in their places. Those stay. Those are just on a mantelpiece.
Yeah. But, you know, if you're listening to Shay's list and you're questioning his list, that's okay.
That's okay. I'm a questionable guy.
He is a questionable guy. Like, there are questionable things I've heard today.
A lot of things.
From him.
Name top 10 things that I've done that are questionable.
No,
that's next week's episode.
Don't put me on the spot like that.
No?
But,
okay.
Yeah, you're a questionable guy.
Absolutely. I go for questionable. You go for controversial. And Daniel,
I go for gasps. I go for gasps.
Daniel, please don't get me canceled.
Yeah, controversial, questionable, gasps. That's just kind of like, I mean, that is the whole Father, Son, Holy Spirit, I believe too.
Yeah, I think so. That's what makes us the
Passion of Christ, Resurrection, coming soon to theaters. Yeah. Check it out.
Check it out very, very soon. Shay, number 5,
Barbarian. You know, I don't think I've ever had a theater experience like Barbarian, and you know, I didn't get to watch it with you guys, the press screening, but the press screening that I went to go see it was in a giant AVX cinema, and that I think can house over 300 people, and it was maybe 4 of us in this theater, and the screaming and the crying and the gasping that was happening just from me alone, no, but just from the crowd that was there with me was insane. Like we were in love. And then I remember when it came out on Disney Plus, I got to show more people this movie, and everyone had the same reaction at that 45-minute point in this film where it just kind of goes off the walls, and the tension that you can build up with this faceless enemy for so long. is so good. Like the movie is just so well done. Like it's just a lot of fun, and it's campy, it's fun. It reminded me of like that year's Megan in a way.
Yeah. Barbarian for me, it's on my honorable mentions. It could easily been in my top 10 because I've probably watched it a lot. It's probably one of my most rewatched movies at home.
I would say so.
I've watched it, I think, like 5 times since it's come to Disney Plus, and it's crazy to think that I've watched this movie 5 times since it only came to Disney Plus in October.
Yeah,
and I've saw it once in theaters and a bunch of times at home. It's such a well-made film, and it kind of had that X factor for me too, where it's just like I watch it, I still have like this is interesting that did this, but like it knows exactly what it's doing and why it needs to tell a story that way. Yeah, and I'm like, wow, like this is a great movie.
Yeah,
this is a really great movie, and we are lucky to talk to Zach Kreger twice.
Yeah,
and have him on the show and talk about this movie. So yeah, if you haven't checked out that interview, sometimes, like, I'll be honest, I forget how many special guests that we've had on the show.
Yeah,
I'm like, damn, we've spoken to a lot of people this year. So yeah, please go check out that interview and watch Barbarian.
Yeah.
Anthony,
number 5,
right?
Number 5, yes.
Number 5, yeah.
I don't know anymore. Like, so,
I'm keeping a track.
I'm so lost. But I'm gonna say number 5.
Yeah. I've done my number 5. That's why.
Oh, you did your number 5?
Yeah, you're the last one. Yeah.
Okay. Elvis, number 5.
El Vice.
Elviso.
He's white. Oh, it's the first time you've done an impression on the show. That's
the only one I can do.
Spielberg. Oh, you can do that one. Oh, okay.
That's all I can do. It's like that's the only thing I can do.
Oh, it's not great.
I would say, like, if you needed me to ADR Elvis for that particular scene, I would be able to.
So say the "thank you very much" line. Like that's the most.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, it's not great.
It's not great. That was shitty.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Welcome to the Elvis podcast.
Elvis was.
It was a ride.
It was crazy. It was wild. It's electrifying. It took me on this ride that I didn't know I wanted to be on, and it was so. Just the way Baz told the story with the opening sequence and the roulette table and all around Las Vegas, it just was unexpected, and I enjoyed everything about it. And a lot of the movies in my list are really long films. These were movies that close to 3 hours long. Some are 3 hours long. This is a year of long films.
Oh yeah,
it is. It really is. Especially when you think of the ending of last year, we had Wakanda Forever, we had Babylon, we had Avatar, 3-hour movies. You know.
And like just coming off RRR, another 3 hour
17-hour movie.
17-hour movie. But Elvis, like Austin Butler was Elvis. That guy put everything into making that character happen on the screen. And the only other Elvis movie I think I watched was the one where they impersonate Elvis and they were robbing a casino. I think it's Kevin Costner.
Yes, 3,000 Miles Graceland.
Yeah. I'm like, that's the only other Elvis I can really compare. Other than Elvis himself, this was probably the best performance of the character, of the person, the real life person. And the story is beautiful. And they brought in modern elements to it. They've added scores they took music from that time period and mixed it in with our music.
Yeah, they had the Britney Spears Toxic remix in there.
Yeah. Baz Luhrmann
with Backstreet Boys, crazy.
He does such a good job of taking what's happening with the world right now and what's especially a period piece and combining it together.
Yeah.
And at times it felt very commercial. Like it felt super cool. Like that sequence where he was walking into town, he gets out of the car and everyone recognizes him. There's like these flashes happening. Yeah. It's just so good. And it just worked. I don't think it would have worked for any other director. I think this is such a Baz Luhrmann story, and the way he told it was honoring the character as well as, bringing his element to it. So number 5, Elvis.
I think the scene when they were shooting the 1968 special, like that Christmas special, and his kind of like comeback, like what a moment that would have seen. I'm getting goosebumps thinking about it. Incredible film, absolutely beautiful film. I wish that Tom Hanks
wasn't in it.
No, it's not that I wish he wasn't in it. I just wish he played it a little bit less like, I am a villain who's going to take all your money.
Like I love Tom Hanks, but like I generally think that, and again, it's no disrespect, he either shouldn't have been in it, or it should have been a much more toned down performance.
Yeah, he's Weitz.
Yeah, just because it's again, he's the only black sheep in the movie for me.
You know, and that's the only thing in that movie which I love the film. I'm like I've been thinking about it a lot.
Mm-hmm. It's in my honorable mentions.
Yeah, like it's one of the ones that, like, you know, we gave it a real gem. I remember like our watches like being like, guys, can you relax? Like we were stressed out, like how intense it was. Beautiful film. Beautiful film.
It's a movie you need to watch on the big screen for sure.
Yeah.
You know, like there's some movies that we watch, you could definitely watch it on the small screen, but this movie, big screen.
Yeah.
Like big screen.
Yeah.
We going to number 4?
You did number 5 already, right?
My number 5 was Wakanda.
Yeah. Number 4.
Number 4. Man, this is getting tough now because my top 3 is where I have them in position. But my number 4, man, it's tough.
Are you kidding me? I'm just kidding.
It's tough. There's
let's all like react to his number 4.
But like,
let's all
are we gonna boo him?
Too.
Well, no, we're not gonna boo him. We do an honest reaction.
Okay.
Because you don't know what my number 4 is going to be.
I never want to know, actually.
And again,
let's save it for last.
Again, there are so many amazing movies.
I can't wait to yell. I can't wait to yell.
There are so many.
That was Australia.
I can't wait to yell.
Is this an Australian film?
Number 4. Number 4.
Numero 4.
You say it?
Honestly, there's a movie that we watched this year that I've been thinking about.
I already hate it.
You already hate it. You may hate
build
it.
Up is too much, I'll be honest.
No, it's not too much. I'm just gonna say I think it's Nope. Nope is a movie that I honestly
I'll give you that.
Really loved this year.
I'll give you Nope.
I've saw it twice in theaters, and when I think about just like the spectacle of it, when I think about the filmmaking aspect behind it, shooting in IMAX, having Hoyt van Hoytma and Jordan Peele telling the story, I loved it. And I love Dana Kaluuya's performance. I love Keke Palmer's performance in this film. And I just think the story was so great. And I just loved everything about this movie, because this movie also had a lot of movies about films that came out this year. You know, when we look at Nope, we look at Babylon, we looked at hang on, I'm blanking on them now. Fablemans. There's a lot of movies that had to deal with Pearl and X, and there's a lot of movies that had to deal with movies. And Nope is just one of those films that I think will test the time of, this was like a horror thriller, you know, Spielbergian type of film that I think people are going to remember. And I'm not going to lie, anytime I see weird looking clouds, I think of Nope. And it's just funny that like it has that effect on me. And I've thought about it so much after watching it all the way back in July when we watched it. So I'm going to say it's my number 4, but really it's in the top 10 somewhere. They're all interchangeable for me.
Nope is good.
But Nope is one that I think when I think back to 2022, I'm going to think about Nope as a movie that came out that year.
Great choice.
Yeah. Shay, number 4.
My number 4 is going to be, should I do the same thing as Daniel, like build it up? No? Okay. Babylon. Babylon is my number 4 film. I love this movie. I absolutely love it. This movie I think about very often. Not only is the score fantastic, but just the movie as a whole is just amazing. And I've seen it twice in theaters now. And both times it elicited the exact same kind of feeling out of me. And I think my second viewing, I appreciated it even more. I think about the soundstage scene. I think about, you know, again, taking us through this, the world of film, you know, just seeing it, especially that ending montage, while it might seem out of place to a lot of people, I think if you look at the grander scope of things, it just works. And I think everything about this movie just hit right for me. And it's something that I'm thinking about a lot. So Babylon's my number 4.
It's interesting that like you have a movie like that I think when we all watched it, it was going to be like, yeah, this is going to be something that people love. And then we're seeing it now, and I feel like it's so divisive of a film. Obviously, with critics at the box office, no one's really showing up for it. But it's also in that same realm of The Menu for me, where I feel like a couple years from now, people are going to look back at it and be like, that movie was special. That movie was really amazing. Yeah. I love Babylon. I definitely have some issues with it. I don't think it needs to be the length that it is, but it's still a phenomenal movie. It's one of the best movies this year, and I'm going to be remembering for a really long time. And I've listened to the soundtrack like
ad nauseum
almost every day since watching it. So phenomenal.
My number 4 is Everything Everywhere All at Once. Fantastic film. Unexpected. I remember watching the trailer, and I think I sent it to you guys. Like, whoa, this movie's dealing with multiverses, and it stars, you know, Michelle Yeoh, and I didn't know much about the story until we really sat down and watched it. So a lot of it was just a lot of visual effects, a lot of like cuts and things happening. So when we actually sat down and watched this movie about this family that owns a dry cleaners who's dealing with hardship, and that there are multiple versions of their story throughout the universes, and it combines into this one, and you're telling this intricate tale of these different characters. It's just and it works, and it's fantastic, and it's a beautiful film. It's a beautiful film. Like, what else can I say? I
think you've said too much, to be honest with you.
I ran out of words in my dictionary. So, absolutely.
Yeah.
Because I use the word absolutely a lot.
Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely fantastic.
It's a monumental film.
Monumental? I have to use that for another one. So, no, but like, it's so beautiful. It's just, I don't know. There's a relatable aspect to it too.
Sure.
I don't know why, because maybe I used to, like, I didn't hang out at the dry cleaners, but a lot of the people I got my dry cleaning from were the Asian community. So it just resonated with a lot of things growing up too. Like, I don't want to say like this was the story that every Asian family went through, but it just to pick something like that, especially out of my childhood, and understood like there was so much hardship that I don't know about,
right,
that people go through, especially hardship from different cultures and different places in the world. It just worked. And the Daniels did a fantastic job, except this Daniel.
No, you're David though.
This is no, he's POS.
Oh yeah, sorry.
Oh, POS, point of sale.
Yeah, point of shit sale.
That's POSS.
Second as a silence.
To write the story is, they just did a fantastic job. I think that the trend, two directors with great chemistry, is like the best DNA for a film.
Yeah, like Daniel and Shahbaz.
Yeah, I don't need to be.
I agree.
I can be producer.
Yeah, you've always been like,
a piece of shit.
Piece of shit. Yeah, damn it.
We're all pieces of shit.
Yeah, we're all pieces of shit. We're all the pieces of shit.
Let's keep the Everything Everywhere All at Once conversation going. This is my number 3. Watching this film, like we had an embarrassment of riches at the beginning of this year.
My God. And the end as well.
And then at the end, and then kind of throughout.
So 2022.
But when you look at like my top films of the year, well, there's no spoilers to what's coming, but like a lot of them came out in the first 5 months of the year. And you had Everything Everywhere All at Once coming out, where I think this was a movie that we saw the trailer. We're like, wow, this looks crazy. This looks like an A24 film on crack. And then we watched it, and I was just like, oh my God, like it's one of those films that you cannot wait to show someone. And I think when we think about movies that do that, it's rare that a movie, when you finish it, you're like, I need everyone to watch this. I need everyone to experience this. And as soon as it came out, I'm like, I'm taking my family to watch this. Michelle Yeoh, Ke Huy Quan, who we were so lucky, again, I cannot believe that we got to talk to him back in April for this film. On our show. And we were getting like emotional with him, talking to him for like 15 minutes. He was such a wonderful person to talk to, but what a movie beginning to
Stephanie
end.
Hsu as well.
Stephanie Hsu.
Give her a huge shout out.
She is
Jamie Lee Curtis.
Jamie Lee Curtis. Like Stephanie Hsu, I think, is the emotional backbone in that film. Mm-hmm. She is, I think, should be in every single conversation for Best Supporting Actress. She is absolutely phenomenal in the film, as is the entire cast. And I think the action and just the set pieces, everything in that movie is just something like you've never seen before. Mm-hmm. And it's so smart. And then you see the Daniels and you see their previous work. I'm like, yeah, this makes sense. Because, you see like the Turn Down for What music video. Yeah. You see the
Swiss Army Man.
Swiss Army Man. Like this is right in their wheelhouse. And I think after this year, they're going to be the directors that every single studio is going to be like, we need them.
They're Jordan Peele. The Jordan Peele.
You know what I mean? Like
this year,
we need to get them. We need to give them whatever they want. And I wouldn't be surprised if we see them get like a big first look deal very, very soon. If not, if they haven't already, maybe they have. I don't know. But they are absolutely wonderful directors. They've created one of the most iconic movies. This is Everything Everywhere All at Once is going to be that film that like Pulp Fiction was.
Yes.
In the sense of you're going to see that poster in every single like dorm bedroom. You know what I mean? Because people are going to be like, that's the movie. Yeah. That's like, this is like a reflection of the culture and the society where we are right now. That's what Everything Everywhere All at Once is. And it's a film that, again, I think I've constantly been thinking about since watching it almost a year ago now. We've seen this. Mm-hmm. So number 3 for me, it is beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Shahbaz, number 3.
My number 3 film, again, also surprised that it was in my top 3. I'm like, if you told me, when it was coming out, would this movie be my top 3? I'd be like, probably my top 10 maybe, but I can't see it being my top 3. It's Top Gun Maverick. Like, I don't think I have gone to a movie in the theater that many times and felt the exact same way from beginning to end, where it just felt like such a ride. And it had so many things riding against it. You just kind of think about the prolonging of this
most delayed, one of the most delayed movies of all time.
Exactly. And
constantly.
You're like, okay, and it's it's a sequel to a film that came out in the 80s and all of that against it. And then it comes out and it is just phenomenal. Like, there isn't a single thing about this film that I'm like, oh, I would change that. To me, it's a perfect film. There's so much about this movie that is just right. The music, the action, the just the feeling. You feel the need for speed while watching this.
Top Gun Maverick, we'll be talking about it very soon, but it's it's absolutely.
It's also my number 3.
It's not your number 3 result. Let's talk about it, Anthony.
It's unexpected. Like, a lot of the films on my list, I did not expect Top Gun to be, as big as it was, as popular as it was, watched by everyone. Like,
everyone went to go see this movie in theaters.
This movie started the summer number 1, ended the summer number 1. It brought people back to the theater. I'm going to say it is the best picture of 2022. Like, I cannot fathom anyone that can't agree with that.
It encompasses everything.
It encompasses everything. It brought people in. People enjoyed it. Everyone that I talked to loved this film. It's a roller coaster ride. You go on this is the first time we've actually felt like we're on a jet.
Yeah.
Like, a lot of those 80s films or even 90s, 2000s, they have the feeling of a jet, but like, this was actually captured in IMAX.
You get why it's IMAX.
And it just feels huge. And the story, it doesn't have to be a country. It's like this random faceless place.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
It just works.
It doesn't matter.
The chemistry of everyone in this film is just on point. Everyone played their part. Tom Cruise, Miles Teller, who plays Hangman?
Glenn Powell.
They all have their characteristics and they all play them well. And it's a fantastic summer film. I think the impact of Top Gun is going to be remembered for 2022
and try to be replicated for
it's a movie that's hard to replicate. It has this magic that everyone kind of wanted to watch and wanted to feel.
And just seeing, Val Kilmer again was emotional in both ways. Like, it made you sad, but it made you happy.
Yeah. Anthony said it. I think, my number 2, Top Gun Maverick. Top Gun Maverick is the film of 2022. I think it's going to be the film people remember most from 2022 because it felt like every single day, every single week, every single month, we were hearing about just people going to watch it. It was crushing it at the box office, people loving it. And even at home, and like, I've never seen a movie marketed as much now too, but with success with the Paramount Plus ads and watching that film, and just I remember leaving the theater just feeling like my heart was pumping. Like, that I just watched one of my favorite movies of all time, and I've watched it so many times at home since. It's that movie that when I don't know what to watch, I'll put it on. It's something that I'll watch just to demo scenes and just go to certain parts and watch it. Like the whole training sequence where, Maverick is like doing like good morning aviators. And they do the whole like, won't get fooled again.
Yeah.
Like that whole sequence is like perfect. It really is like the perfect movie. And watching that was an experience that I think every time I've watched it we watched it in 4DX, right?
Yes, we did.
That was a little uncomfortable, though, I'll be honest.
It was a little uncomfortable for 4DX.
I mean, there's a lot of jet planes, and the 4DX was a little intense, but it was still a fun time. And the movie is just so good. Like, it's unreal how many obstacles this movie had to overcome, especially with the delays. It was supposed to come out June 2020 and then November. And it was that first movie that I remember us talking like, oh my God, it got delayed till November. Oh my God, it got delayed to June of 2021. Oh my God, 20, and then later into September 2022, and then November, and then finally came out in 2022 or 2021. Like throughout the year, it was delayed. So Paramount had a huge risk delaying it each time, and I just shout out to Paramount this year for killing it at the box office.
They had a great year.
Didn't end it too great with Babylon, but killed it this year, so that's fine. But what an incredible year of just releases in general. Like pretty much every single Paramount film that came out this year we loved.
Yeah.
Right? So like what a year for them. Top Gun Maverick just set the stage for hopefully Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning to be the most successful Mission Impossible, because I think people are going to be riding that high.
I hope so.
Of Top Gun Maverick going into Dead Reckoning Part 1. Yeah.
Which I hope they just make it Dead Reckoning.
Dead Reckoning and then something else.
Yeah.
Shay, what is your number 2?
My number 2 movie is a movie that I almost put at number 1. But my number 1 movie, we've already talked about it, but I can't wait to talk more about it. My number 2 movie is The Batman.
Wow.
Doom, this guy. Number 2.
He
hated it.
Yeah,
he hated it.
Might as well put it in disappointment.
Put it at the end. Might as well put it disappointment. I mean, disappointment is on number 1. The Batman, I don't know what to say about it other than it is the best Batman film. It is, and you look at The Dark Knight, you look at all those movies, those are amazing movies too, and they're also the best Batman movies as well. But what The Batman was able to do was it was able to be the first movie in its in its new franchise, and it was able to set up a world that we kind of hadn't seen, a version of Gotham we hadn't seen, a Batman that we hadn't seen in a long time, and it was so damn good. I'm a huge David Fincher fan, and this movie was as if David Fincher himself had crafted a Batman film, and Matt Reeves did a phenomenal job. He did a movie that I will be thinking about for a very, very long time, and he's got me so excited for what's coming into the next part of his universe. I can't wait to see the Penguin show. I can't wait to see the Batman 2, and the casting is phenomenal. The film feels grounded. The movie is just amazing. It is the reason why it's called The Batman is because it is the Batman movie.
I love that. Yeah, I have a feeling we're going to be talking about it very, very soon again. So we're going to hold off for that. Anthony, your number 2
is Babylon. I did say Babylon was my favorite film of 2022, but I changed my mind.
Might as well put it in the disappointments, I think, too.
Yeah. I'm disappointed it's not your number 1. I'm kidding.
Babylon, there's something about Babylon that really hit me. It's a movie about people who love films, and like every character in this movie portrays a part of Hollywood, and it portrays a character that's part of movie history. And I think for me, it's really Diego Calvo's performance as this wide-eyed, I want to be part of this big something thing, something bigger. And like the end kills me. It makes me cry because it's like he never gets that. He never gets his dream. He gets
close to it.
He gets so close to it, and then he has to like let it go. And that just sucks because like we all want to live our dreams. We want to be part of it. And that's, as a filmmaker, as someone who's made movies and documentaries and is part of that world and doing this, it's so heartbreaking for him to like not be a part of it. And that's where it really struck me. And you can see Damien really wanted to showcase the love of movies and everything that you see, from the Hollywood epic that takes place in the desert to the new world that's going to come in the next 10, 20 years with the building of these powerful Hollywood, because this is the 20s, right? Yeah. So we're going into the 30s and 40s.
The big studios and the big studios, and then what comes from that,
and
right?
What comes from that? It's such a interesting time period to capture for film, and I don't think any other movie has actually captured the 1920s. I kind of look at Aviator with DiCaprio, because it was capturing that time period when he made, I think, was it Hell's Angels or Angels in the Cloud, whatever. But that time period of Hollywood, but this was the whole focus.
But the movie wasn't about
it wasn't
Hollywood,
about that,
right?
but like this was really about that time period, and not a lot of movies are like that. And everyone's performances are fantastic. Margot Robbie, Brad Pitt, Diego,
Tobey Maguire.
What's her name? Golden Girls.
Golden Girls.
She was on the Golden Girls. She's not on the Golden Girls. She was on another show.
Oh, I was gonna say all the Golden Girls are dead.
Yeah, man. Like they're gone. Who is this?
The writer.
Oh yes. Oh man, I forget her name. Yeah.
The writer, the actual
the journalist.
The journalist.
Yeah, oh, sorry, Jean Smart.
Jean Smart.
Yeah.
She was on a show very similar to the Golden Girls. I think it was about interior designers.
I'll take your word for it.
Sure.
Everyone's performances were fantastic.
Yeah. What a heartbreaking scene that was, though. And when she's talking to Brad Pitt, and she's like, like, your time's done. Like, be happy that you're going to live forever on the screen, but your time now is done.
And I can't imagine as being like an actor or an actor, there's someone in that world actually watching that scene, because you know that's going to happen to you, but you live on forever. Because like your work will always live on. Like you will always go back to or see a film that was filmed in the 30s and 40s, because that's history. That's movie history. And what the Academy is doing and their whole museum of capturing this history and actually showcasing the world, because so many people who don't know nothing about movies, and they don't know where it started from and where they are now and how it got there. There's these things that really represent Hollywood in Babylon.
Yeah.
And the score is... It's my favorite score.
Yeah. It's playing my head right now while you're talking.
It literally is like, it's like the perfect, like, if you think of like a quarter, like on or the opposite side, it's like the flip side of La La Land. Like you take what La La Land was, and it's like the other side of that, because there's a lot of inversions and playful things of the score from La La Land within Babylon. And I was reading too, I didn't know this, that Emma Stone was supposed to play Margot Robbie's role, which would have been an interesting parallel to Babylon and La La Land, kind of tying those histories together.
Could have been that great grandmother. I'm 100% sure they take place in the same universe.
Why not?
I think that's really cool.
Yeah.
I think everything in, other than First Man, because that's a more of a historical film, Whiplash, and they all take place in the same universe.
It's the Heartbreak trilogy. It's like the wanting something so bad, but you're not going to get it trilogy, right? That's why Damien Chazelle, like we spoke about him on our review of that. Like, I think he's going to be remembered in the context of American filmmakers like Cameron.
Yeah, be careful. I got game for you on the comments.
Like, hey, what about
who's this bitch?
What about this guy? I'm like, but I'm talking about American Hollywood focused directors,
the important directors,
the ones that we care about here on the Movie Podcast. Yeah, the ones that matter.
Not me. I'm all about the worldwide. I'm all about people of color.
Shay's winking right now. You can't see it. He's winking.
I'm actually just blinking.
She's putting on his white face right now.
Whoa. I don't want to get canceled.
That's a running theme of this episode.
Yeah, a lot of canceling.
Let's get to our number one.
Well, I mean, we know what it is.
We know what me and Daniel's number one is. And we thought
the original.
This guy, we could have ended off as a triangle of...
It was my number one, but I have my reasons for my number one.
Okay, so you want him to say something?
Scream 5.
Shake and go first, because I think Anthony and I have the same number one.
Yeah, my number one is Everything Everywhere All at Once. It was for so long, it was the Batman. But the reason why I picked Everything Everywhere All at Once is there's not a single movie on this list that is even remotely close to what Everything Everywhere All at Once is, in terms of what kind of film it is, the kind of story it tells, and just how it's made. Like I can't even imagine what making this movie was like. Like it's such a visceral experience, and you look back at how weird this movie is, but every weird thing has an explanation.
Okay, this scene, we're gonna stick the dildo trophies up your butt, okay? And
you're gonna explode.
Yeah.
And you look at the hot dog fingers, and you're like, why are there hot dog fingers? Well, then you look at the scene prior to it. On the wall is a drawing that Stephanie's character has made for her mom with hot dog fingers from her childhood. So it's like everything has a purpose and a meaning, and it's just such a weird film. And Ke Huy Quan coming back and just absolutely crushing it is probably one of my favorite things about this movie too. It's a movie that I've shown to so many people, and everyone kind of starts off like, oh, this is kind of weird, but by the end of it, they're in tears because the overall message, that love, coming from an immigrant family as well, and where you're not really shown love. Like, my family, they love me. I know that, but we never expressed love. Like, that was a thing. That's a thing that happens a lot in immigrant families. There's no I love yous. There's no nothing like that. And to get to to see that in a film, I felt that representation. I felt seen. I felt like this is something that happens. And there's no movie like that, like I said, this year. And I don't think there'll ever be a movie like this ever. Like, you can't make this movie again.
You're right.
No.
I think, and that's the thing, right? I think you're so right when you say, like, yeah, like, can there ever be a movie that's similar to this? And I think the only movie that's ever going to be similar to this is whatever movie the Daniels do next. Because this movie obviously has a lot of same DNA that, you know, Swiss Army Men has, and like their other works
weird,
have.
really, right?
Being weird and not having that, but this is one of the most distinct and I think recognizable movies, and one of the most craziest movies you'll ever experience.
It's timeless.
It's timeless.
It's the movie that's
timeless is the word.
That is the word. Timeless because it's one of a kind.
Yeah,
you know, like it's one of those, and it's hard to have movies, especially nowadays, leave that impact.
Yeah,
where you're going to remember it 100 years from now. And
it's just hilarious. It's a really funny film.
Yeah. And but also like your entry into this movie is obscene and crazy and whatever's happening, but it's like it really is that message, like across the multiverse, like the one recurring thing is love.
Yeah.
Right. And it, like you could almost like get like that Interstellar parallel with that as well too, right?
Yeah.
Where it's just like, oh, like, you know, the one endearing thing is love. But yeah, I don't think there'll ever be a movie like Everything Everywhere All at Once. There's going to be attempts to make movies like it and then be weird and do this crazy stuff, but there's a difference between a movie being weird for weird's sake and for being something that contributes to the larger story.
Right.
And Everything Everywhere All at Once, I just want to know, like, how does, like, I think we even asked Ke Huy Quan, like, how do they even like pitch this to you?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like there's so
How do you read the script? Is it like a vision board? Like, what is it?
You know, like it just like there's just so much happening in it, and for them to be able to pull it off and tell a story that's actually coherent and one of the best of the years, it'll be a damn shame if this film doesn't win Best Picture at the Oscars. Again, we don't care about awards here, but it'll be a really big like upset. Like if, again, there's amazing movies this year. We're about to talk about another one, Anthony. But it'll be a shame if a movie like Everything Everywhere All at Once isn't recognized for
something
for the change that it is, right?
Yeah, the brilliance of it.
Let's get to the real best movie.
Yeah. Number one.
The white movie. I'm just kidding.
The white movie.
But he dresses black.
Yeah, but he's a white guy though, still, right?
He's emo.
Number one movie.
Let me look at my list.
Of course. This has been a film that I think has been years in the making. It's been one that we've been waiting for. It's been one that we're like, how is this going to turn out? Do people still want this? Do people still care about it?
I'll never forget us in the screening for this film.
Yeah.
I'll never forget that moment. Us just sitting there, and I think we were all sweating. We were nervous.
Yeah. And then it starts, and then you hear that music start, and then it's like Jackass Forever. And it's like, here we are. We've been waiting.
Right when I saw the giant dick, I was like, why don't we get every movie like this?
You know, why isn't every movie Jackass Forever? No, Jackass Forever in my honorable mentions, though, of course, because that was a great time this year. The Batman.
The Batman was the movie that, like, of all the movies I watched, was the one that just, I was so happy to watch it early. And it was just on my mind.
Secretive too.
It was so secretive too.
What a secretive watch.
It was on my mind for so long, and seeing the trailers and that build up and everything that we got beforehand, and then going in and watching it. And within 5 minutes, I knew this film. I love this movie.
Yeah.
Within 5 minutes.
Within 5 minutes, I was like, this is my number 2 film of the year. For sure.
This is a disappointment.
There's going to be another movie I'm going to see later this month, but
I have a feeling Everything All at Once is going to be in it, but...
Yeah, this is the Batman is a film that within 5 minutes, you know, you're like, this is something special. Yeah. I felt when I was watching Batman Begins in theaters, like, this is what the Batman was. And again, say what you will about the DCEU and Ben Affleck, but I think Ben Affleck is a great Batman. He wasn't given the opportunity to showcase it, but seeing this movie, I was sitting there and I was like, oh my God, like, this is what I remember feeling like when I was seeing Batman Begins for the first time.
As now an adult,
and seeing a movie that's embracing everything, that's making Batman amazing, not waiting a long time to introduce all these main characters. We got the Penguin, we got Catwoman, we got Riddler, we got Joker, you know, all in one movie. And we have Batman, we have Alfred, we have Commissioner Gordon, we have all the main players that you want in a Batman film, and they're showcased. We have, John Turturro, who played Falcone,
and
like we had him there. We had Oh my god, I'm blanking on her name right now. Zoe Kravitz playing Catwoman, who I thought was brilliant. Mm-hmm. I literally have 2 posters of this movie in my studio right now.
In my room as well, I have that poster and the variant of that poster.
It's funny. He doesn't have the one that we bought him now.
Oh yeah, the one that we got him for his birthday.
Threw him away. I know he did.
I saw him peeing on them actually.
Yeah, then I lit him on fire actually.
Yeah, you're.
Well, I'm surprised you care though, since it's your number 2 movie of the year.
Yeah,
do you care still?
Yeah, I mean, I still do care about these films. At least.
No, so I'm redoing my bedroom, so I will fix that. I don't want to have all Batman in here. Let's be real.
I mean, it's all you have.
That's all I have right now.
Your room is black. I don't understand how else.
Listen, I saw this movie. I'm like, I need to go through my emo phase again. Yeah. I'm painting my walls black.
I mean, if you look at my jacket, it's the same jacket that the Riddler wears. So I think
Shay's wearing a Riddler jacket for sure. But yeah, you look at a movie like The Batman and what it was able to accomplish and the size and scope of this film, and we think back to that first trailer from DC Fandom all the way back in 2020 that just set the tone for what this film was going to be, and it delivered. And so often we're pitched a movie, we see a trailer, and we're like, if it comes anywhere close to that, I'll be happy. And it succeeded that. And it literally built a universe that I'm just like, I want to live in this world to see what happens. I want to keep coming back to this. And I've since rewatched The Batman a bunch of times at home. That Batmobile sequence, where it's like a roaring engine. It is such a ride, this movie, beginning to end. And it is nearly 3 hours. It is the perfect Batman movie to me. Robert Pattinson is the perfect Batman to me. And again, this was a film that going into it, I remember we were in the screening of John Wick 3, where you dropped, Robert Pattinson was just casting Batman. And we're just like, what? And
what a choice.
We were shocked.
Look at what it gave us. And look at what it gave us. And now we have a Penguin series coming. We have Matt Reeves meeting with James Gunn soon about his Batverse. So I'm hoping that they keep continuing pushing this forward. And
I wish more people loved this movie as much as us. I think sometimes when I talk to people about the Batman,
they don't get it though.
The reaction was like, that was good, or like, it was a little too slow for me. It's like, no. And I feel like such a crazy film fan when I hear people say that. I'm like, no, you don't get it. Like it's this. Like you got to really like break it down, and then it's so good. But I feel like people's expectations when going into superhero films now is it needs to be a certain way. And I'm not trying to throw any comparisons out there, but it's always like, no, it needs to be fast paced or whatever. It's like, no, we can have a methodical comic book film. We can have a film that, might not be for the masses, but it is for the people who love that medium.
Yeah, and when you look at this film, it's the best reviewed comic book movie of the year.
Absolutely.
Which is amazing. It's one of the best performing comic book movies of the year. We had Wakanda Forever, which did amazing. Batman on $100 million or so budget, did almost $800 million, which is crazy to think. And it's amazing. And it's only setting the stage, I think, for what's to come, where I think whatever they call the Batman 2 is going to be what The Dark Knight was to Batman Begins. Absolutely. And we are already in a place that succeeded what Batman Begins did.
Absolutely.
And again, not to compare, Batman Begins is one of my favorite movies of all time, but we're in a different direction now.
Go ahead.
No, please.
No, go finish.
And this feels like a graphic novel come to life, where Batman Begins still felt very clean. And it's a movie of its time, right? It's the 2000s. You couldn't make this movie in 2005.
No.
You know what I mean? But you can now, and you can tell a very interesting story with who Bruce Wayne is. And I'm looking at this poster, and it's Batman without his cowl on, with black makeup coming down his eyes. And it's like, that's Batman to me.
We barely saw Bruce Wayne in this film,
or Batman.
Well, I feel like we saw a lot of Batman in this movie.
Oh yeah, sorry, we saw a lot of Batman. But you see, but Bruce is still, I think, like
he's still there.
The emotional,
he's still there. I'm sorry, go ahead, Anthony.
No, I was going to say that this was the probably only film that captures Gotham the way it should be captured.
Oh yeah,
beautiful.
Like there is no other representation of Gotham in
distinct.
All the other Batman films. That feels like Gotham.
Oh, that's New York. That's Chicago. That's Pittsburgh.
This feels like Gotham. Like this feels dark. It
feels gothic,
and they encompass all the things. Like if I open up a comic book, I read a panel in a Batman story, and I see Gotham, I now see Matt Reeves is Gotham, because that's perfect. What it is. It is
perfect.
And that's I'm sorry to interrupt you, because when you looked at when people say, well, The Dark Knight. Yeah, there are great performances, but the problem with The Dark Knight, and I've said this before, is that it doesn't capture Gotham properly.
No.
It's a city.
It's a city, and it's not Chicago. Scary, and it doesn't feel like there's a lot of crime happening. It doesn't. It doesn't feel like Batman's there waiting to strike a criminal. Like when that first 5 minutes where they kind of tell the story of the Batman, this
walking through the city. Oh my god!
Yeah,
dude.
and it's like
that subway
you look
platform
in the sky, and you know I'm there, but I'm not. But just the feeling of being a criminal in this world.
That's a year one Batman.
And that's a year one Batman. This is what?
Yeah.
Like he's a child still.
Yeah,
like he's a child.
Baby
he's
man.
A baby Batman.
Baby Batman.
It's
you look at Colin Farrell as the Penguin in this.
Oh my god, why?
Why? Because he's pretty good.
Exactly. That's why.
No, he's like,
he should have been nominated. He should have been fucking nominated.
Look at you two, world's greatest detectives.
Oh, what are you showing me?
Yeah, right?
Like, what a film, iconic, beautiful.
When I think of the performance, I think that more than his Banshee performance.
100%.
Because it's just a standout, and
he should be nominated for best lead actor and supporting actor in the Batman.
Yeah, I don't know if Academy is not going to look at that stuff, but maybe they will, because again, it's a diverse group.
Yeah,
a younger generation in there as well. Why not?
I think Batman's going to get its flowers in the technical categories, as they always do. But I think
it's the best shot film of the year. It is.
It is
visually and Avatar. Yes, visually, but
cinematography.
Real
Greg
cinematography
killed it this year.
I can't wait.
If he's nominated, he won last year for Dune. I would love to see him repeat it again. With
Absolutely,
Batman,
2 for 2.
It's one of the best looking films of the year.
You never had a movie capture black so well. Like there's just moments where even it's complete darkness, you can see enough light to get you through to the next scene. There's some movies that they make it too dark sometimes, and you're like, well, I can't really see what's happening here. But this movie does a phenomenal job with that. Never did I think we get an even more grounded version of Batman than we did with the Nolan trilogy. Like I thought, okay, well, that's probably the most grounded we'll ever get for Batman. And out comes Matt Reeves, and not only does he give us one of the best Batman, I think he gave us truly one of the best Batmobiles as well.
Yeah.
Because that thing is what I imagine this Batman to be driving.
When you just see the rain, and it just feels like it literally feels like whatever the city's 7 is in, right?
Again, another nameless city as well. A
nameless city where it's just here's this world that's taking place, and you see the dirt and the grime. You feel like it's a dirty place.
You feel like there's crime on every corner.
You know what I mean? I would feel scared walking in this city on my own. You know what I mean? And it just, man, I want to watch it now. I'm going to probably put it on later.
Put it on. Pause this recording. Let's put it on right now.
I can't wait to do a commentary track for that. One day we'll do a commentary track.
One day.
I'm hoping we get some news on the Batman soon. Now that James Gunn is doing his thing, he's meeting with Matt Reeves soon. Give us some updates on what's going on there, because I need more of this universe.
Absolutely.
I absolutely adore this film. We all adore this film. We've been very lucky this year because we looked at the best movies of the year so far in the summer of last year, and to see a whole we had so many more movies. We're like, what's going to top this? And then we had a whole onslaught of movies that were introduced that were even greater.
I had to go back and listen to what our anticipated films were.
Of the year
of 2022, because I want to see obviously we had the Batman and everything in there, but I want to see did those ones that I was most anticipated for, did they make the top 10? Let's
really quickly just call them out as you have them. Honorable mentions, other movies that we love this year. Obviously there's something that we spoke about. I really love Bones and All. I didn't think I was going to love Bones and All, but it's a movie that I've also thought about a lot since watching. Jackass Forever, as we I spoke about earlier, that reviewed great. It did really great. It's just such a fun movie. The Whale, Brendan Fraser in that movie is fantastic.
Prey.
Yeah, oh my god, Prey. Yeah,
Prey.
Fantastic movie.
That's in my honorable mentions as
Northman. Amazing.
Marcel the Shell with Shoes On.
Yep.
Fantastic.
I had to take him out of
I watched it last week again, and it was so good. Just hit me so well.
Turning Red.
I just watched that last night again. It was just so fun.
Scream.
Yep. Scream. Bodies.
Black Phone.
Still
you didn't watch it yet.
Still need to watch it. I know.
Yeah.
I know.
Good movie.
The writer who did Black Phone.
He directed.
No, that's Scott Derrickson. But someone else who worked on the Black Phone who did something recently.
Glass Onion.
Yeah, Glass Onion. I just rewatched it too. A lot of fun.
Yeah.
I put Pinocchio. Netflix's Pinocchio.
Nice.
Really well made stop motion animation.
I'm gonna put Disney's Pinocchio.
No, man.
But one of our top performing episodes ever.
I know.
I think it's like number 3 right now. All time downloads.
I really liked Smile. I thought Smile was a really, really good movie. Another horror movie that I really liked and it stayed on my mind a lot was Hellraiser. It's just so good. Like I'm not one for those kind of films, but it was really well done.
I remember you saying that. Northman. The Northman is another great film from last year.
Yeah, you said that.
Did I say it?
Yeah.
I don't remember saying it.
You know what was disappointing? And I hate that Halloween Ends. It's so disappointing. Two reasons for me.
Yeah.
I had a NBA fantasy that day.
Okay.
And I missed out on it because I wanted to watch this friggin' movie. It was so terrible. And I lost out on the fantasy. So I'm 1-8. I'm 1-9 right now.
Yeah.
Because of fucking Michael Myers.
So, but here's the thing though, with Halloween Ends for me, halfway through the movie, I was like, this is one of the worst movies I've ever seen. And then it clicks in with me and I'm like, Shade, this is all intentional.
Yeah.
And then we're like, this is supposed to be like.
I looked at Daniel, I'm like, I think they're in on it.
Yeah.
Like, we're in on this joke with them. And then once that part clicked in for me, I had so much fun watching this movie. It's not a movie that I watch again, really, but it was one of those movies where it was like a drunken night where I watched it and I'm like,
most ridiculous movie.
How do you
I'm
go
watching.
from that first one to this?
But at least, here's the thing, man. At least I had more fun than fucking Halloween Kills because that movie was horrible.
Halloween Kills was just a bad movie.
Just terrible.
This one, at least,
this room.
We watched it in this room. That's why this room I hate it.
That was the same day we saw the Batman.
That was the second DC fandom. Yeah.
That was a movie that took us also like 9 hours to watch for some reason because it was so bad. Halloween Kills.
Yeah.
I also have She Said in my honorable mentions. Loved it. I thought it was so good, so well done. Really powerful film.
Hustle. I actually really enjoyed Hustle, the Adam Sandler Netflix film. Yeah. I forgot that was last year. I'm just going through my list. I'm like, Hustle was a pretty good movie. Like, he had a great performance in that. Let's see what else that we got here.
I think you mentioned all of mine.
All of them, yeah. There's a lot of great movies last year. We were really lucky to have some fantastic films come out last year. Turning Red probably being my favorite animated film of the year last year.
Absolutely.
We'll see what happens when it comes to award seasons with it. Disappointments. I mean, you said you had something you wanted to run through quickly?
Go ahead. Tell us your disappointments.
Black Adam. We know. Halloween Ends. Pinocchio, Disney Plus.
And these are again movies that you were hoping would be good, but then didn't end up being good. Because there's a lot of movies that were bad last year, but I mean, I don't want to highlight them. Yep.
Disappointment for me.
Yep. Same.
The Gray Man, Jurassic World Dominion.
Yeah.
What a way of ending.
Oh yeah. What a shit show.
A really good franchise, and then it.
Yep.
Thor: Love and Thunder.
Yep. For sure.
Definitely.
Fantastic Beasts. Secrets of Dumbledore.
I didn't think it'd be good.
I didn't
expect the other two were. And then I put the Adam Project because it was just I don't know, expected more.
Yeah, we'll see what happens next in that universe. Anything else that we want to talk about before we wrap up today's episode?
No. I'm just looking at some. Oh, you know what was another big disappointment for me last year was The Gray Man. It had everybody that I thought would be great. It had Ryan Gosling, Chris Evans, the Russo brothers,
and
had a potential.
It had potential.
It just fell flat.
And
it came and went.
Like I didn't like it. Like I just generally was like, this is not a fun movie for me.
Yeah, there's moments in it where I'm like, I like what's happening, and then it's like, why is this movie an hour too long? Like there's just so much happening in it that's just like so unforgettable. And it's interesting too because the Russos are producers on Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Yep.
Yeah.
So it's just like, I just wish that they would focus on a project that makes sense.
They're main producers?
Yeah, they are producers on.
They're like, if it wins Best Picture, they're winning.
I don't know whoever gets submitted for it, but they are producers on Everything Everywhere All at Once. It was even in the marketing that they were from Russo Brothers.
They will get the award.
It's possible.
They would, yeah. Another disappointment for me was Violent Night. Like, again, like we had fun with it.
Oh, Violent Night, yeah. I forgot.
Like,
half a great movie.
It's so recent, we already forgot about it.
Yeah. But we'll see. I mean, we are looking forward to 2023 now.
Absolutely.
We will have our most anticipated movies of the year coming out very, very soon. So look forward to that. And as always, you can catch a brand new episode of the Movie Podcast every single Monday. Watch out throughout the rest of the week for our reviews and interviews and all the latest movies and series. We have lots of reviews coming your way. We will be back weekly on Sunday nights with our Last of Us HBO series breakdown and after show. So look forward to that every Sunday at 10 p.m. for the next starting next week for the 8 weeks going forward. And make sure you follow us on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, and Letterboxd at The Movie Podcast. We have lots going on there. Follow us on YouTube, join the Discord. Episodes of the show may end, but the conversation doesn't have to stop there. So make sure you join us there. All the show notes below have everything you need and more. And thank you again to our friends at Layered Butter. Make sure you use promo code TMP10 on their store site to get 10% off your next issue. We love working with them.
That's Titanium Malignant Productions 10. That's what the T and the P.
I think that's what it stands for. You're right. Yeah. You're right. We'll have all that in our show notes below, so check that out and more. That was This Time with the Movie Podcast.
And we'll see you next.